Well. Look what the cat drug in to the stream, ladies and gentlemen. We've got myself, the Ginger in the Flock League, and we've got Sammy Stacks here, the fan in the Flock League. I mean, I guess will we not call you the fan this year? Or I guess we don't know if you're going to be a part of it, right? So.
Yeah, my identity is unknown at this point in time. I don't know. I guess I'm still a fan. I'm still a big supporter of everybody.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see. There is. I mean, this is no secret. There is going to be a new fan contest.
Yes.
So there will be a new The Fan. So I imagine whether I'm a part of it or not, if I am,
we'll see if
won't
Mason
be my
will
name.
graduate your
somebody
name
else.
up from The Fan to your actual name.
Yeah.
Guys, we appreciate y'all coming in here and hanging out with us. We've got a real Dynasty rookie draft on tap for you guys in the Charlie League today. So obviously we're going to have a lot of fun. That'll start in just under 4 minutes now. But we're excited to have you in here. Let me know who's hanging out. What's up, Agent? What's up, Nicholson? Joel's in the building. We got Sammy actually in the chat there. Jonah, Mike, Scribbles. What's up? What's up, guys? Welcome in. Sammy, last night, I have been, trying to just stay alive through the draft weekend. Just the amount of sleep is wild. But someone in our neighborhood said they had free tickets, and then me and my wife, I'm not gonna I will unashamedly say this: The Devil Wears Prada 2. When I heard that was coming out, I was like, I gotta be around.
Gotta see
this.
that.
Yeah.
Devil
Wears Prada itself is, I would say historical. It's
of course
a movie of the times, if you will. So
absolutely
went and saw Devil's Wear Prada 2, and I kid you not, I was not informed that it was by the movie theater labeled Ladies' Night. No one told me this. So I walk into the theater. Not a single soul there is a male, except for me.
That is...
And everybody's looking at me like, okay, did this guy not get the memo? It's Ladies' Night. So I walk
incredible.
in, and I'm getting stares the entire time. People are like, okay, what's up with this guy? Why is this guy here? And I was like, all right, let's go, ladies. Come on, ladies. Let's watch Devil Wears Prada 2, baby. But love Stanley, the actor Stanley. Obviously, I mean, how many just all-time GOAT actors are in Devil Wears Prada 2? But same thing when I walked out of the theater. By the way, walked out of the theater.
All women.
My wife waited for the credits, and I went to the bathroom and waited. And then as I'm walking out, just herds of women staring at me, and I thought, yeah, well, I don't care. All right, I like Devil's Wear Prada, and I don't care who knows. Okay,
that is incredible. That's really good. So, I mean, how would you know? Like, it would have to be on the website when you're buying the tickets, right?
Yeah, well,
it's just a miss. I'm just saying, like, how would they advertise this to know so that okay, I'm not going to the movie on Tuesday night because.
It's a good question, right?
Yeah,
well,
that is a very
they got
question.
me. Ladies and gentlemen, they got me. I appreciate
hilarious.
y'all being in here, hanging out for the stream. We will start this thing here in a second. We do have the Charlie draft. What's up, Charlie League? Welcome in, gang. Appreciate y'all being here. Now, a little bit of some house news, I guess. We will have a drawing for the next Real League. We'll do a startup draft on Monday night. Okay, so this coming Monday night, that will be for the Hermes League, however you want to say it. I can tell you as of today, right now, I currently have 2 spots remaining, gang. All right, so 2 spots are currently remaining in the Hermes League. And if you want to get into a land league, there has never been a better time. All right, so maybe you have been out there and you've been watching us get into these startup drafts, into these rookie drafts, and you say, I just want to be a part of the community in some way, shape, or form. Well, now is the best time to get in. 2 spots remaining. So the next 2 people to go to the Land League's website, sign up. Obviously, you first have to become a promo code LAND annual Mother Flocker member on the Flock Fantasy site. These are only for supporters. The next 2 people will get those spots. And that also brings me to today's code word. We are going to give away a live Dynasty team playbook. And if you would like to enter into today's giveaway, it's fairly simple. All you have to do is like the stream and then type the code word, which is Hermes. And we would love to have you guys join the chat. Okay, This is a super flex 12-team rookie draft, a real money league. I won this league in 2024. I came second in 2025. So unfortunately, we didn't bring home the hardware this year, but I would like to come back and bring the home hardware this year. But we will be using the land method. So just a little bit of housekeeping before we actually jump into the draft. This is for everybody in the Charlie League who's drafting with me, and it's also for everybody in the stream so they understand what's going on here. We use what we call the land method, okay? Live, action, negotiation, draft. You can read exactly what it means on your screen here if you want to pause, but essentially we've dedicated about 1 to 2 hours of time here. Real draft, not a slow draft. The same atmosphere that you fell in love with when you grew up as a kid, drafting in Dynasty football, drafting in fantasy football. We all set aside time to be intentional with the draft. The action is where the trade window comes into play. Everybody has a trade window. They can call the trade window. You have to be on the clock when you call it, and you only get one per draft. And this is where the absolute chaos begins, right? Let's say at the 101, the player, the owner calls his trade window. Well, at that time, it'll be the one time in the entire year for your Dynasty rookie drafts where you will have everybody's attention. And if anybody wants that asset, they can go ahead and they can send you an offer for it. So this bidding war starts to begin. That's where the negotiation comes in, right? And then obviously we are doing a live draft. So we appreciate y'all being here. And lastly, we will let Sammy go ahead and tell you what Code Cinnamon is, because Code Cinnamon will be in play. He is a veteran in the Cinnamon streets. Sammy, what's Code Cinnamon mean here?
Yeah, so we just here on the Dynasty Land channel, while we do these rookie drafts, we don't want the picks or the draft, how it plays out, to be influenced by anything we say or anything that happens in the chat. And so if you see a player on the board that's falling, they should have been drafted already, and you can't believe that they're still on the board, just try and keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
We're gonna do the same. And we just don't want anybody to miss out on an enormous value, especially. I mean, the sleeper has updated the ADP, thank goodness, finally. But still, there will be some values down the board, and we don't want anybody's draft to be affected by our big mouths, specifically mine.
Yes, we appreciate you explaining Code Cinnamon there. Shout out to Sammy. Hey, how about Sammy killing the game here, guys? You know what? I think I should put a poll up in the Discord because, Jesse just said, why was the alpha draft 1.5 minutes the whole draft? Honestly, I just forgot to change the clock. Transparently, that's the answer. I know that's silly, but that's the God's honest truth. I just completely forgot to change the clock for your draft there in alpha, but it felt really good to me. Like, it felt like a good timeline. Typically, we go 5 minutes through the first 2 rounds, and then 3 minutes through the last 2 in the third and fourth. I am going to go to the Discord here, and I just want to hear from you guys, okay? So I'm going to create a poll, and I'm going to say, how long should the first, should round 1 to 2 timer be? Because I'm curious to hear what you guys think. 5 minutes is traditionally what we have done, okay? I think 3 minutes is probably the sweet spot. I'd like to have that across the board. Maybe we actually dip down. So I want to hear from you guys. Go ahead and vote in the Discord there. I want to see what the community might think. But I am going to honor the 5 minute one here for Charlie. But I think I preferred when it was a shorter clock, because the trade window itself, if you want to negotiate, it should be plenty of enough time. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and begin here. I have been trying to trade for the 101 for quite some time. And Spartan Kick, if there's any counter that you have, it's one of those situations where someone's like, hey, look, it's tempting, but I really love, I'm not going to commit Cinnamon, but we all know who the 101 is here. So I'll just say, hey, any last offers, I guess. I think we all know what Spartan's going to do here, but I'm just curious if there's a counter out there, if there might be some deal to be made. Now, to be completely transparent with you guys, I only have 1 pick in this draft. Remember how last year I was constantly on my channel telling you guys that the 26 class sucked? I took action, okay? I took action in most of my leagues. That's why you guys aren't seeing me have a bunch of picks in these drafts. But I've got the 411, almost paid off. We almost were champions again, but we still made money on the league, I guess, by getting in second, right?
There you go.
But the trade that I made in this league, I did initially have the 111, but if you guys remember, this was a while ago.
Oh, was this the Ken Walker trade?
Yes.
There you go. Wow,
so
yeah.
This was the Ken Walker trade where this was in January, and this was fresh. This was before the Super Bowl, and this is like everybody fresh in their mind how Ken Walker had been sharing the backfield for so long, and the comment section was just completely split. Excuse me. People are like, "Oh, you're an idiot. You're gonna regret this. Are we really this stupid?" Shout out to Jonesy. Shout out to Josh Jones, 55. Are we really this stupid? No, I guess I am this stupid, Jonesy. Look at me getting Ken Walker for the 111. And then we had the opposite side where people said I fleeced. So the duality of man, if you will.
Yeah, I remember I traded JCM and a third for Ken Walker in like week 13 last year.
That's clutch.
It's just insane how much values can change, right? Like, I
agree.
Ken Walker
Professor,
now being
I'm going to send you a trade offer here. Sorry, go ahead, Sammy.
Ken Walker's like a top 40 pick in startups, if not, back of the 4th round. And it's just wild, I think that there was definitely an opportunity here. I think this could have been foreseen that he was very undervalued just because we could tell that it was the Seahawks usage that had him, not producing, and then he was going to be a free agent. And he does end up with the best landing spot possible.
Yeah.
But and there were other scenarios where he could have gone back to Seattle, and I don't think people would have been as excited.
I agree. I think if he's back in Seattle, people are definitely more concerned. I think that's really fair.
No Charbonnet, obviously, like for most of this year, but
before all that.
Yeah.
Exactly. I did just send the professor a trade question. Or not a trade question, a trade offer.
If he accepts this trade, maybe you'll give him a trade question.
I'll give you a free trade question voucher if you accept. But there's an offer in his inbox right now. Let's see if there's any any action that happens here.
Yeah, as soon as you're happy with no picks, and then once the draft gets started, you're like, I need to get in on this thing.
Every time I'm like, I've got to be involved somehow. I've got to get in on this. We did have a super chat just popping from Mitchell. And
heck yeah.
Is there anybody in this question that will commit code cinnamon?
Nope. We are good.
No? Okay.
We are good, yeah.
Go ahead and read that for us.
So it's a one QB. It's an 8-teamer, I think. Start 9. I think that's what he means. 8-team start 9. He got offered JSN for his 101 and Egbuka. His wide receiver 1 is Amon St. Brown. He has Gibbs and Genty. Is that an overpay for JSN? Ugh. 101 and Egbuka for JSN.
I think that's too much. I mean, if you think about it in a startup draft, right? Like the JSN is either a top 4 pick or a top 6 pick, somewhere around that range in a super flex startup. So you're essentially saying, would I trade the 101, which is typically the 112 in a startup, or the 201 in a startup? It's like that edge turn. Would you trade Egbuka to move up like 6, 7, 8 spots?
Has it fallen
in
a little
startup
bit?
Draft.
Has it fallen?
I feel like too small of a sample size to say yet.
Yeah, of course. I think general consensus is that people are a little disappointed with the Cardinals as the landing spot, but even still, like it's what at worst like 20th overall, like at the very that's where I have it now.
Yeah.
At like the very worst, it's down there, in the late teens. I think that's too much for Jay. It is an 8-team start 9 though.
Yeah. But
which means that like studs are everything, and he had is Egbuka like a starter for him? That is true, but he has and he has Gibson. Yeah, you know what? You're completely right. There's no point in doing this.
I just think the only reason we're even considering it is because it's an 8-team league. But
yeah. I think studs. Yeah, and studs obviously matter more, but obviously, like you said, Jeremiah Love is a stud.
Jeremiah Love has done nothing in the NFL, and he's already a lot of people's RB3 in Dynasty. And historically, it's not a crazy, like we know these guys perform. Damn it, Professor. I just wanted a conversation, man. Okay? I just wanted to have a conversation, dog. Come on, bro. You're killing me, dog. All right, I'm going to send you a trade here, ESR.
Surely somebody will hit you back, Zach. Surely. Yeah. Sometimes sending out a trade, all you want is that, I'm good. I'm going to pick.
Yeah. Sometimes all I want to hear is like, I appreciate the offer, but I'm going to pass. So, okay. You know what? Fair enough. Can't blame you there.
Yeah. The worst. Yeah, exactly. Because, you put so much work into a trade offer. And then if it just gets completely ignored, it's it makes you sad.
Yeah.
You don't want Zach to be sad. You don't want Zach to cry
You
on
guys want me
stream,
to cry
do
on
you?
stream? I'll do it if it makes you trade with me. I've got no shame. Sammy, what's your favorite pick? So, actually, that would make you commit code cinnamon. Have you? Okay, let me ask you this. I personally have no 101s this year, and I've been trying to trade for them. Do you have any?
Yeah. Zach, it's funny. I had 2. I traded both.
Okay.
So one of them. This will be good for the chat. This will be fun to get them. They can give their opinions on this. So I told you about the one I traded for Genty, right?
Yep.
So I'm a little worried about Jeremiah. Like, he's my RB5. I prefer Hampton and Genty. Not by a ton, but I do prefer them. And I'm just worried a little bit about year one.
Sure.
The quarterback situation being a complete mess. The offensive line isn't that good in Arizona. And so many other, mouths to feed in terms of the passing game as well. So it's just a few concerns I have in year one. I traded the 101, and then a late second and a late third this year. I think it was like the 210 and 311 for Ashton Genty.
Yeah.
So a small little tier up there. And then the other one I had, I just traded it. And it was, okay. So I sent the 101.
Oh,
the
hold
109.
on. Hold on. Okay, I was told if this trade gets done, that I might get a trade done.
Oh, yeah, we got to hear this.
Okay, so a trade just went down. Okay, finally, this league may have just risen from the dead, risen from the ashes. Okay, so it looks like Garrett Wilson's on the move. Are you guys ready for this one?
Ooh, we got to see this.
Okay.
Straight up?
So Garrett Wilson and the 111 for the 103.
Wow.
Which, transparently, I mean, we have no idea how this is going to play out, but that seems like a pretty affordable Garrett Wilson to me. But it's funny because when the draft was happening, I was kind of chatting to everybody in the Let's Chat LAN Discord area, and most people said they want Garrett Wilson or they want the 103 over Garrett Wilson. I don't personally agree. I would rather have Garrett Wilson, but
I have him back to back, but Garrett Wilson ahead.
Yeah.
That's yeah. I mean, I think that ESR got some pretty nice value there. But also Garrett Wilson's a bit of a scary one because we think the Jets are gonna be better this year.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it is still Geno Smith. It is still the Jets. And he's going to be 27 next offseason.
Yeah.
Which is nuts. It's absolutely insane.
Garrett Wilson will be 27?
Garrett Wilson will be 27 next offseason.
Sure.
I think his birthday's in June. Let's see. July 22nd. So, next offseason, in the middle of the offseason, Garrett Wilson is turning 27.
He's 25 right now, Sammy.
That's correct. He's turning 26 in 2 months.
Okay, sure. Okay.
Yeah. So the next offseason, he will be turning 27. Next offseason will be his 27-year-old offseason, if you know what I mean.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So. Yeah. But like I said, I think he does have a good year, and I genuinely think that the Jets adding a bunch of offensive weapons in the draft only helps him.
Oh boy. Jadarian Price off the board at the 103. Wow. Back in 82, I'm going to send you an offer, brother.
So what's going on with Cardinal Tate then, Zach?
I don't know. I'm not. We were conversing and then it's radio silence.
All right. Yeah, so I'll go my 101 trade. I'll let the chat tell me if I cooked. I sent the 101, the 109 and the 309. For the 102, the 104, the 202, and Josh Downs. Chat, roast me. Roast me, chat. I'm kidding. I'm very sensitive. Please don't. Twitter, Zach's Twitter took a beating on me the other day. And I haven't recovered yet, frankly. But yeah, so now I have no Jeremiah Love shares, and I will have none.
Yes, speaking of taking a beating, I was expecting more hate and interaction from my Dazon Stribling take on today's video. I tweeted it out. So far, nothing but no response. Just people liking it, not exactly saying I'm an idiot yet. That could still come, obviously, but that is actually code cinnamon, and I'll recognize that, and I'll hold my hand up, and I'll say, you know what, that's on me.
You know what's funny, Zach? I feel like people just don't care enough about anybody in the second round.
But people are,
you know what I
mean? So what you're saying makes sense until there are specific players in this class that people are aggressively anti, when I think there's very little reason to be aggressively anti.
Sure. Yeah, no, the Dazon Stribling thing is definitely, yeah. And him specifically, it's people are either like, hey, 33rd overall pick, or they're like, hey, this is like a terrible prospect, and Kyle Shanahan's an idiot. And I think, you can just be somewhere in the middle in this, godforsaken rookie class.
It's funny because most of the players after a certain point, you're like, yeah, it's probably not going to work out. But for some reason, people are more aggressive with other players than anyway. It never feels good to be left on red. I've been left on red right now. Maybe it's
tough.
I just need to look myself in the mirror and say, Zach, what could you have done better here? Guys, we appreciate you being here and hanging out with us. I am doing a giveaway today, and if you want to enter the giveaway, it's very simple. We're giving away a beautiful, look at how beautiful this is. What a live team playbook. Customized review of your Dynasty. This could be you. All you got to do today is simply like the stream. That is step 1. And step 2 is to type our code word. Our code word for today is Hermes. Hermes. I don't care how you say it.
Hermes.
Okay? But we're doing that because we have a real land draft happening Monday night, a startup draft that you can be a part of. I currently have 2 spots remaining. The first 2 people who sign up and decide to become a promo code LAND annual Mother Flocker member will get a guaranteed spot in that league. The first 2 and the first 2 only. But that league will be drafting on Monday night, all with the new rookies, all of that. So I appreciate y'all being here with us on today's stream.
So we've got back in 82 on the clock here.
Yes, which I know he's active for the draft, but I got a counter offer. Let's see.
Oh, you love to see it.
Back in 82.
Dopamine hit. Oh, is it disrespectful?
Dude.
You hate to see
Make
it.
the pick. I'm out. I've hung the phone
hate
up.
To see it.
I will not
Price got
shame.
too high. The price got too high. Price of the bricks going up, Zach.
I got too much respect for my people to shame them. We all know I've sent bad offers out as well. But
facts.
I'm not going to give you the best player in fantasy football, brother.
The best player in fantasy football. Who's he talking about, chat?
Zach is on Shark Tank. Yeah. I love Shark Tank. I'm not going to lie to you guys. D-Tart, I'm going to send you an offer, brother.
Oof. That back in goes Fernando Mendoza at the 104. Zach, who are the stars of this Zach Savage roster over here in Charlie Dynasty?
Oh, bro, I love this league. I'll show you in 1 second. I'm just going to make sure I get an offer out first to D-Tart here.
God, I really laid up the flex for him right on the plate, didn't I?
Like, Zach, if you would like to take a second and just flex on us, please do.
Yeah, I would appreciate it a lot, actually.
Yeah, I'll let you look here in a second. I just want to make sure I get this offer out first.
Ugh. No, I am not in this league. Let go. I'll be in one more rookie draft this offseason. That'll be the the Atlas League whenever that drafts.
So this is the league that we've got. This is the team that we've got here in this league, rather. We are rocking with Joe Burrow, Bijan Robinson, Devon Achane, Puka, Jason. At tight end, it's really like a Gadsden, Likely, Andrews. Between those three, we're kind of just streaming the position.
Sure.
Walker, J-Mo, Nico. At quarterback 2, probably put Daniel Jones there, but we might, we still have Waddle that we could put on the bench or flex in. And JCM on the taxi squad. Pollard on the bench.
Good squad.
Tracy on the bench. So, yeah.
Zach, for all this talk we had on the stream last night or on Monday about how you like to wait on quarterback, you got a lot of teams without a good quarterback too. I'm just saying.
Without a good quarterback too.
I traded you one in Bravo. You didn't have one. It was Tua Tagovailoa before that.
Yeah, who did I trade for? I can't remember. Oh, Kyler.
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, but I'm winning championships in these leagues, so.
Well, not in this one or Bravo. So maybe if you had Caleb Williams, maybe you would be at the 112 in those leagues instead of the 111. I don't know.
Yeah,
people are asking. Right. That's all. Hey, it's not me. People are asking. That's all I'm saying.
All right, so I'm not going to end up doing a trade here.
All right.
But I appreciate.
We have yet to see a trade window.
Yeah, we haven't yet, have we? I appreciated the back and forth with D Tarnt. I appreciated that.
It's always good to have a little back and forth,
But yeah, clearly, consensus is outside the top 2 this year. I feel like kind of thrown out entirely, isn't it?
Yeah, and I've even seen some leagues where Tate doesn't go 102.
Oh, have you?
It's rare.
I haven't seen that yet. I wouldn't say that like shocks me, but I just haven't seen it in a league I'm in.
Yeah, I have. I've seen it in 1 or 2. I've seen a Mendoza 102, and I've seen a player who's not off the board yet at 102.
Okay.
But it does seem like Tate is the consensus there.
Yeah, I do think he will end the year as a consensus.
But sleeper ADP actually has Mendoza ahead of him.
Oh, does it?
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it does.
Scribble says he saw Fernando go 101 over Love yesterday. Wow.
I think that'll happen in some home leagues, probably, like really casual ones.
Yeah.
People who are still like quarterback is everything in Superflex, and he's the first overall pick, that kind of thing. Tyson was the other one who I have seen.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna send Sets an offer here, by the way.
Sets.
Set hook.
Set up. So back in 82 wins the championship and then ends up with the 104 to grab Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah, he's made some really, really good moves here. He's clearly my biggest competition.
That's why he's sending you god awful offers.
It wasn't god awful. It was just like I think he knew I was gonna say no when he sent it.
It was more like I'm probably not moving out here, but if you want to way overpay, then by all means, one of those. Yeah. We've all been there. I'm so hyped for redraft season, Zach. I can't, I just every year after the draft, as soon as all the best ball stuff starts up, and it's just
actually I don't have a good offer for you, Seth. Sorry, so I'm not going to send it through. Don't want to disrespect you, my friend.
That's quite honorable of you.
Yeah, I almost sent through a really bad offer, and then I said, don't do that. Don't be that guy.
You're not that guy, pal.
Most of our leagues are actually 6-point passing touchdown leagues. Chaz.
Oh, yeah. There are a few things I can stand less than 4-point passing touchdown, honestly. It seems really dumb why it was ever a thing.
4-point? Yeah, I mean, the Flock League is 4-point. I don't understand 4-point. A touchdown should be a touchdown. If that means quarterbacks are more valuable, then adjust appropriately. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't get it.
But like we've seen now that in like a 1 quarterback league, quarterbacks don't get pushed up like crazy just because it's 2 extra points per passing touchdown.
Yeah.
Right? Because like all 4-point does is it makes the rushing ones even more overpowered.
Exactly.
And yeah, flock league should definitely change. I think that like because all of like the best ball stuff is 4-point. Like underdog, everything on underdog is
Right.
4-point
Okay.
per passing
Well,
touchdown.
that's why Mason probably won't change it then.
Oh, maybe.
He's a company man.
He's a company man. He's nothing if not loyal.
That's right.
Only you can prevent bad trade offers.
Dad is plugged. This is ESR. He says, all good, man. Appreciate you not sending me an awful offer. Well, that's what it would have been. I'm not gonna lie.
You would have hated me.
You
for
would have
that.
really despised me.
Yeah, and rightfully so. Like, it was bad. It would have been really bad. Jared on the clock here. We still haven't seen a trade window. We still have not seen
Very
a trade
rare.
window.
Very rare.
Very rare.
What's up, Salvatore says, I have a question. Do I have to stay subscribed every month? You can't. I don't allow monthly members to get into the leagues, gang. When you look at the website, it'll say annual Mother Flocker membership. And that's because ultimately the only reason these exist, I mean, I'm paying our commissioners, y'all, to make sure these leagues are awesome. I'm not paying them life-changing money or anything, but, you know, the reason I'm able to create content and focus on the content and, you know, put out great leagues and continue to put out great products and, you know, pay the designer and the video editor is because of support from you guys. So, I mean, that question you kind of maybe understand why I don't allow monthly people to be in the leagues. You know what I mean? Because
and I think that his question, as far as I'm aware, is as long as you continue to support, as long as you keep your annual membership, every year you will be in the league.
Yeah.
But if you decide to cancel your annual membership, then you know somebody who has an annual membership and isn't in the league will take your spot.
The entire reason I'm able to do stuff like this is because of your guys' support, right? So, but I appreciate the support no matter how it comes, you know, whether it's supporting me on the site, obviously that's the best way to do it, but watching the content, you know, you guys can support in many ways, but yeah, the only reason I can really dedicate as much time and effort as I do to you guys and to the content and to the streams and to everything is because of your support. What's up, Albert? Welcome in.
KC goes at the 107.
Yeah, Spartan says he's open to trade offers here. I'll send you something, Spartan. I'll send you something.
But it's not going to be good.
It's not going to be bad. I think this is fair. I do genuinely think this is fair, so that's all I'm going to say, but this is, at least from what I've seen, right in the wheelhouse of this pick.
In other words, Spartan, you're going to be disgusted by what you're about to look at.
Most sites would say this is dead even.
Okay.
There's a specific player I'd like to select here, if possible, but it's not going to make or break my year for sure. John says ESPN Fantasy needs to offer best ball format or just buy one of the ones offering it. I'll be honest with you guys. Companies like ESPN, NFL.com, they do not care about how good or bad their fantasy app is. Okay? They know that the masses are going to use their app. So I'm just going to keep it a buck with you, man. They really don't care. And as sad as it is to say, I'm not sure Sleeper cares anymore. Like, Sleeper was the head of innovation on fantasy football sites for a long time. And I am not blaming them for changing the way they did, but when their whole pick'em thing came out, or whatever it is, their sleeper picks, like, their priorities very clearly shifted. And one makes money and one doesn't. So, like, I understand it, but I'm just telling you, if you guys expect ESPN or NFL.com or one of those big platforms to have drastic changes and listen to the user and how they can improve. Probably not going to happen, especially now. I don't even think Sleeper cares anymore, transparently. Like, they used to drop how many updates every year. It was like crazy how good the updates were. And now it's like they send out a tweet once per year. They might do 1 or 2 things. It's like, okay. So
yeah, and it's unfortunate because like you outlined it perfectly. One of those things makes money and the other one doesn't. And
Yeah.
wow, voice crack. And I'm still growing, guys. You know,
he's a grown boy. He's drinking his milk every morning.
and yeah, like unless people are gonna pay to use a fantasy football app, which obviously Sleeper is completely free, unless people are gonna pay to use it,
Yeah.
then they're gonna take advantage of the system the same way everybody else does. Like the Sleeper accounts on X too, like it's a similar thing where they're just feeding into the aggregation stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
those like the Sleeper NFL account is an absolute. Like, it's just slop all the time.
It didn't always used to be that way either, unfortunately.
No, because, well, that's because X and that's because Twitter wasn't always like that.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. It is what it is.
Well, I think Spartan's going to make the pick here, I'd assume. I haven't gotten any reply yet.
Spartan, you got 5 seconds, brother. Less
So-
than that, because I'm a few seconds behind.
Looks like his queue is going. Jared, I'm going to send you an offer here. Spartan, please don't accept my trade.
Omar Cooper.
Jared, I'm going to send you an offer, brother.
Jared, don't pick Jared.
Just give me a
Don't do it,
chance to
Jared.
send it.
Zach, I forgot to. I don't know if you said this at the top or if I didn't hear. Is there a tight end premium in this league?
No tight end premium.
No tight end premium. No free points.
No free points. The old school way. All right.
You get your points.
Rub
Everybody
some
else
dirt
does.
on it. Your tight end
No
sucks.
special-
Who cares?
No special treatment.
Damn it, Jared. Not even a conversation. I'm disappointed. I love you, Charlie League, but I'm disappointed by the lack of conversations I'm having, even if people don't like trades. We're better than this, okay? We're better than this
Yeah.
as a community.
For real.
All right?
For real. We gotta wake up.
You don't
guys.
like it? What do you like? Send me a trade offer. This is what we're here to do. Come on, man. Entertain me.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Take me
You
out to
guys are a
dinner,
part
okay?
of-
You don't
you're
have
a
to
part-
marry me. Just, take me to a nice steak dinner. That's fine.
You're part.
You know?
You're a part of the entertainment as much as anything else. So actually, Zach, it's funny. We can talk about Ty Simpson because this has genuine the way that the last week has played out, or the last 5 days specifically have played out with the Ty Simpson stuff. This is absolutely insane. The Rams secretly meeting with him,
Genuinely hilarious.
and telling
the story is
and
crazy.
telling
Go ahead.
him not to tell anybody that they met, so that nobody would get any sort of inkling that Sean McVay likes Ty Simpson. And then they draft Ty Simpson, and Sean Payton is so committed to not letting anybody know that he likes Ty Simpson, so he purposely acts all pissed off in a press conference.
Dude,
Everybody
hold
notices,
on. I'm
'cause
so
of course
sorry,
they do.
Sammy. We will go through this story, but oh my God, sweet Jesus, you're not gonna believe the trade that just went down in this league. All right, I see why no one's
What
talking
happened?
to me, because they're all at dinner and I wasn't invited. That's
Is there
what's
a
happening.
three-teamer?
No, but check out this offer that just went through. Okay, so Josh Allen is on the move. So is Caleb Williams. Oh my gosh, the land method, ladies and
Holy
gentlemen. So
Jesus!
it looks like Josh Allen, the 104 in this draft was who? It was Mendoza. Josh Allen, Mendoza, and the 112 have been moved for Caleb Williams, Brock Bowers, and the 108 is Omar Cooper. Wow.
So I'll be very interested to see what the 112, who's picked at the 112. On initial look, I like the Caleb side.
I do too a lot, honestly, because it's it's impossible to tear down from Josh Allen unless you find the right owner. And I kind of
Yeah.
back in 82 is the thorn in my side in this league, and I kind of hate that he got that done.
Wow.
But
Caleb.
it's a good move, and it's not unfair what Spartan's gotten for it. It's just if you're gonna tear down from Josh Allen, now is the time to probably do it to maximize value.
Yeah, I think he could also be the 101 for 3 more years.
I don't think he can for 3 years because people keep seeing the age and then they're like, oh.
Yeah, I think somebody needs to come take it from him. Like I think Drake needs to have another crazy year. Or Jaden, has a 800, 900 rushing yard season or something. Yeah, like the Ty Simpson thing, it's so funny to me how they went through this like elaborate scheme to make sure nobody knew that he was that Sean McVay liked him. It's
The
so
Ty
funny
Simpson
to me.
thing's hilarious. Yeah, if you guys don't know, like Sammy just explained it pretty well, but essentially they met with him, told him, don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. Which, in a way, shouldn't that be illegal? Like, shouldn't teams not be able to tell prospects that? That feels a little icky to me.
Yeah, I don't
But
know, because in reality, I think it's like sort of if there's no rule behind it,
yeah,
then
it feels like there should be a rule, is what I'm saying. Like
like it
that.
feels like every visit should be documented.
Public information should be as public as possible. Yeah, visits should be documented. If you're meeting with a prospect, teams should know about it, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And I think that part of it is like people see like, oh, Sean McVay likes this guy. We should be in on him.
yeah,
Like I feel like that's how they sort of viewed it. Like they didn't want, but then I'm like, okay, your plan worked so well that nobody wanted him.
yeah.
Like stuff is coming out afterwards that like the Cardinals didn't even want him at the top of the second round.
My
And it's
thing
like,
is,
would anybody else have picked him? Like, could you have traded down?
wow, Chris Bell just came off the board at the 110. By the way, I'll send an offer for this. I'll send an offer for this pick. It's a wild, wild west out here in 2026 rookie drafts, ladies and gentlemen.
It really is.
It is a wild, wild west. Wow, wow, wow.
I've seen Chris Bell go back of the first several times. I can't get there. But I've definitely seen it happen. Somebody's got to catch the ball in Miami. I just worry that Chris Bell's going to miss a bunch of camp, and if he does catch the ball in Miami, it's not going to be till the end of the season.
Okay, so the Ty Simpson stuff again. Like, I think it's so funny. Look, I believe that it's kind of like a tampering, a little bit. Like, if you think about like, I don't know. I feel like anytime you make contact with a incoming prospect, it should be noted on public record. It feels a little dodgy to say, don't tell anyone that you met with us, by the way. It feels a little icky to me. Like, I'm not saying like that the Rams have done something wrong. If there's no rule around it, then there's no rule around it, and like do what you have to do.
Yeah.
But I think for the sake of transparency and for everything to be above board, then you should legally be required to publicly show who you've met with in the draft. Because what that stops us from doing, that gives the Rams every ability to get him whenever they want. And it stops any team that actually wanted him to know strategically like when to move up. And obviously like there's like knowledge there and that's a part of the game, but what I will say is props to Ty Simpson, man. Hilarious that he's like, I don't know when to stop the bit. He's like, I'm so deep undercover now. I don't know.
Yeah.
Draft night,
Yeah.
they're like, so you haven't met with him? He's like, no, I don't know. I've never met with Sean.
Talked to Sean.
I've never talked to him. I don't know. Who was
I
their
don't
head
know what he
coach?
looks like.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I find it hilarious.
Yeah, I think that like, it's really interesting. Like I do kind of get what you mean because like the Rams don't do top 30 visits.
Yeah. Well, they do,
it's
obviously. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
This is
no,
what I'm
they
saying.
never-
They do.
That's what I said. Yeah, exactly. They don't bring, but the top 30 visits have to be documented because the league gives you a certain amount of them of players you can bring into your facility. And the Rams instead, they're like, we're not going to do any of the stuff that the league documents. We're just going to go off on our own and do whatever the hell we want. And yeah, there's no rule against it. I feel like it does make sense that, with a professional sort of process that the draft is, that there should be rules of, how you do things, and every team should have to do.
Okay, Spartan Kick, I'm going to send you a trade offer here.
And yeah, Kev, like, we completely understand why they do it and what they do. I think we're just saying that, like, maybe everybody should have to do the same thing. Because there's also, like, people bet on
Spartan,
this
give me a
stuff.
chance, dog. Come on, guys. Damn it, give me a
Oh my
chance.
gosh.
All right.
Can you?
Good pick.
You know what?
Good pick, though.
I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen Stowers ahead of Sadiq.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
surprising.
that's-
I wanted to get in there for sure. It is a non-tight end premium, but that doesn't make sense as to why Eli goes ahead of Sadiq there.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't be why, I don't think. So that's the last piece of the
We've got a trade window here.
That's the last piece of the Bowers trade, Zach. The Josh Allen trade.
That's right.
So Sadiq is actually going back in that trade to the team that sent Bowers away.
Okay, so that could end up working really well for them. Again, you
that
look
helps
at this
a lot.
trade.
Like
now when you read it, you say Josh Allen. Who is the 4? Tyson?
Mendoza,
sorry. Josh Allen, Fernando Mendoza, 6-point passing touchdown league, and Kenyon Sadiq versus Caleb Bowers and Cooper. I still want the Caleb side, but it looks better.
Well, yeah, because I see Sadiq and Cooper pretty similarly in a non-tight end premium.
Yeah, I still prefer Sadiq personally.
I do, but I it's less of a gap because of the no tight end premium, and then. So then you're looking at Allen, Mendoza for Caleb Bowers. Yeah, I prefer the Caleb Bowers side, but I think Sadiq definitely helps here. Like if that had been Stowers, all of a sudden it's like I like it a lot less.
Well,
ESR,
if you would like to trade for the 201, back in 82 is taking all offers now.
And Zach, I think with the Ty Simpson, like I was talking on the. Day 2 of the Fantasy Stock Exchange stream, we were all talking about on day 1, we're talking like after he was drafted, we're like, holy, this is like best case scenario. This is incredible for him. Then on day 2, we're like, Sean McVay hates this guy. And we're reading into it like, is Sean McVay even going to be there when Ty Simpson finally gets to play? Because it seems like he's on the Matt Stafford retirement track. And now it's completely flipped back where it's like, no, Sean McVay wanted Ty Simpson.
Yes.
Like Sean McVay sees Ty Simpson as a succession plan.
Again, I still think like the most memorable part of this entire story is the fact that like I'm just thinking about imagine the conversations Ty Simpson is having with his family. Like, okay, I met with the Rams. I want to go to the Rams.
Coach told me to lie. I don't know what to do.
And then he's like, Mom, do I lie? Like they're about to ask me. It's like, I don't know, son. Go with your gut. So have you ever met the coach? Who is it, Sean? No.
What's his name?
I've never been in Los Angeles, actually. It's hilarious, method acting. If he can method act as a quarterback and maybe learn to method act as Matthew Stafford, as well as he method acted not knowing the coaching staff themselves, then he's going to be all right. He's going to be just fine, ladies and gentlemen.
And so. Honestly, Zach, like he is I think he's the biggest enigma of this rookie class, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because it's quite easy to rank him, I feel. But at the same time, like I don't feel good about it at all. Because there's so many layers to this. We have no idea how many more years Stafford is going to play.
Yeah.
Right? Like, could he play until he's 42? He could.
Yeah.
Like it's not, is it likely? Like I would say the over-under is probably 1.5 more years. Yeah. If you had to set it, like, I don't know if I doubt that market is out there anywhere, but if you had to set it, I'd probably say 1.5 years. Like, he just turned 38. And then, Zach, this is the crazy part. Okay. I am going to really quickly, let me just look this up. I will as soon as
we're hungry.
I'm gonna feed you that knowledge. Just give me a second. Okay, so Zach, let's say Matt Stafford plays 2 more years. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Ty Simpson finally gets a shot to start in 2028. Okay.
Yeah.
That will mean that in 2028 will be his second year playing football in the last 8 years.
That is pretty wild with him sitting so much at Alabama.
2022, he shows up at Alabama, doesn't play. 2023 is still sitting on the bench. 2024 loses a quarterback battle to Jalen Milroe. 2025 finally plays. He's good for half the season, then he gets hurt, then he sucks down the stretch, gets drafted in the first round, and then doesn't play for 2 years.
Yeah. That's
insane.
Yeah. It is The
not
one
playing
concern, the biggest concern I
get to
had with
play
him is the
football.
lack of starts. Weirdly enough,
It's only going to get worse.
well, weirdly enough, I feel like that concern is best alleviated by the fact that he's going to sit behind Stafford, though. You know,
But then your
gaining that kind of
concern
experience
is like, I guess so, but like at the
is
same time,
invaluable.
yeah, but it's also like
It's a Jordan Love route.
to me, it's a tiny bit. To me, it feels a little bit backwards, and like I completely get the argument, obviously.
Yeah.
To me, it feels a tiny bit backwards that we say, I want the guy who didn't play any football in college to continue to not play football, and that'll make him better.
Well, it's different. In college, you absolutely, history tells us you want to get as many reps as you possibly can. That's the players that perform well at the beginning of their career. However, in the NFL, history shows us that if you're able to sit behind a really good player, it works out typically for you quite well. And that goes back all the way Phillip Rivers, that goes back obviously Patrick Mahomes, Alex Smith, Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre. There's even more examples. I just can't think off the top of my head, but typically, if you're able to sit behind a really well-run organization and a really good quarterback, it has worked out pretty well for you.
Yeah.
But it's just, I understand the logic is skewed, but
because JJ McCarthy is another one, right? Like,
yeah,
JJ McCarthy comes in. It's
JJ
like Kevin O'Connell.
The easiest way to be anti Ty Simpson is to look at JJ McCarthy and say, well, we said he was set up better than anybody else, and that's true. We did say that.
Quarterback whisperer, you know, like all this kind of stuff. And had a year to sit. He was injured, obviously, but he sat a year and then hasn't worked out yet. Doesn't look like it's gonna work out.
Nope.
Yeah, it's so tough, man. Because like to me, this is like just not an asset that I'm like. Obviously, you know that you have to wait on it, of course. Like you know that you have to wait. I'm just never looking at him like I want him on my roster.
I do want him.
It's a weird one.
I sent Jordan Addison for that pick, wanting to draft Ty Simpson there, which is why I think that's quite consensus at the moment.
Sure.
That's pretty fair, like straight up. Maybe there's a counter there, but I was willing to wait on Ty Simpson. I hear where you're coming from. I think the opposite side is we already know how old Matthew Stafford is, and he's already been mulling retirement for multiple years. So what if it is 1 year? If it is 1 year and you don't have some Ty Simpson shares, you're gonna regret it ultimately. Yeah. Because you don't even have to like wait to see Ty Simpson play. His value will automatically increase simply when the notification hits that Matthew Stafford has retired.
That might be the selling point for me then. That's where as soon as Stafford announces retirement, Ty Simpson value shoots up, and then maybe I get out before.
Yep.
Because JJ McCarthy was like, I mean, when he got drafted, thinking he would start week 1, he was probably like a 5th, 6th, 7th round pick in startups. I mean, that rookie class was loaded, right, with the quarterbacks?
Yeah.
So if Ty Simpson jumps up to there, I think, next offseason, if Stafford does retire, that's where I'll probably be selling. Because the other thing is that, like, I just don't think he's very good.
I think he's better than people give him credit for. I wrote that up in my rookie report. I did personally believe that he was a little bit too much of an afterthought in the class. I'll read you my write-up on Ty Simpson if anyone cares.
Let's see it. I care.
Okay. So for every prospect, by the way, at the bottom right, you'll see like a summary I write for the player, but you guys won't see it because it's covered by the screen right now. But what I wrote is, I think Ty Simpson's a better prospect than most are willing to give him credit for. There's the beginning. Above average arm talent, stellar velocity on intermediate throws, which is true. I think the velocity on the intermediate throws is better than Mendoza's, and probably the best accuracy in that area as well in the entire class. And I would stand by that. The short to intermediate game, I think he's a superior prospect right now to what Mendoza is. That doesn't mean he's overall, right, a superior prospect. And then I went on to say he understands progressions, can get to multiple reads, and overcame a really subpar receiver room while valuing possession, which is so incredibly hard to do in the SEC. If you go and you look at like, people might say, What do you mean, Zach? They've got Ryan Williams. Ryan Williams almost led the college football landscape in drops. He was completely subpar. He was terrible.
Jeremy was the one in 2025.
Jeremy was fine, but like across the board, what you expect from an Alabama receiver room, it was a huge letdown, and it wasn't on him. If you're watching like these games, like it was very often not his fault. And the fact that he didn't have people he could rely on and still valued possession, that is going to be huge for a coach like Sean McVay. I wrote, my big concern is without collegiate reps, he has just 15 career starts. It's a red flag, and history tells us that you might struggle early on in your career. I said, I don't know if he's a first-round talent, but I'd be shocked to see him sneak outside the second. So my pro comp for him was Alex Smith, but I feel like his skill set, if you know, obviously we want to see Puka Nacua targeted down the field, but there's a lot that's scripted into the Rams passing attack that I could see really working with Ty. So I think he's a little underrated. As it looks like, did we get a trade? I think a trade did go down here. It looks like, wow. Okay, so back in 82 gets Higgins in a fourth and a third. He sends away the 201, 204, a second, and the 212. Jeez.
I mean, I'm not a big Jaden Higgins guy. And I do really like Jonah Coleman, but that's a big win for Bashal too.
Yeah,
honestly.
that's what I was looking at Tootin there thinking, damn, that's...
I think Tootin's the best player there. I think that getting is Sets gets his own second in 27. Or it doesn't, the desktop doesn't tell you whose pick it is. It just says from and to. It doesn't say whose 27 second that is.
Yeah.
Coleman and Tootin is like kind of interesting, I think, as a comparison point. That's
interesting trade.
One of the big debates that actually he hasn't come off the board yet. We can't talk about him. Antonio Williams
this is what I thought was an interesting comment here. It's hilarious because
I saw this too.
I don't understand.
I don't even know what this means.
People
I don't even know.
Some people just want to get upset to get upset. I don't understand. So the comment is, fantasy football gurus flip so hard and fast on the JJ9 take. Shake my head. Go down with the ship. Don't be scared. You know what? You're right, man.
What?
The worst ever first year starting analytically outside of Anthony Richardson the past decade at the quarterback position. And the team just brought in a veteran starter. You're right. We should not change any opinion we have on JJ McCarthy, guys. So,
but here's what I like.
That's just so stupid. Like, what are you talking about?
What I don't understand is how anything I think we just
don't adjust to anything you've seen.
Bad year,
Sammy.
But what does go down? What does go down with the ship mean? Like, should I be like watching Vikings 2025 JJ McCarthy film right now and trying to find every good piece, every good play, and hyping him up, saying he's undervalued?
His career is
like,
not
is that what going down with the ship
obviously, is? But to say like it's like to not adjust to what you've seen is just a little.
I also
bit
I'm
silly.
not a film guy. My entire opinion of JJ McCarthy coming out was he didn't play very much in college. They didn't ask him to throw the ball very much. It's going to be a weird transition, but he lands in an incredible situation. He was drafted with a top 10 pick.
He was set up to succeed, which is why when you see what you see and you say, oh my God, he was so bad in this environment with this much time to wait. It's like, how could you not adjust? Of course you're going to adjust. Yeah. And someone said, I think he means admit when you were wrong. How many times do you guys want me to say? I'll say it again in case you haven't heard me say it on the channel. We were wrong on JJ McCarthy. He failed. I think we've addressed that like 15, 20 times.
Yeah, but was anybody saying, like, I think everybody, it's this Ty Simpson thing. Everybody now is having to recognize that he's in a really good situation.
Yeah.
I think it's very similar. I don't think you had anybody saying, this guy, I mean, surely there were some people that hated him as a prospect, obviously, and, didn't want to draft him, but I think that if the other side of that were true, you would have had to, like,
JJ,
he could be like, he could be Brock Purdy right now, and then it'd been like, okay, the people that were wrong, you should have, like, Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I feel like that's just mad to be mad, and it's misdirected because like, what?
Yeah, people get. This is someone who clearly has some beef. Like, what's happened to this person is someone who covers fantasy football told him to make a specific trade. It didn't work out. As we know, there's so much luck involved in this game that we play, and
Sure.
now they're upset about people who cover the sport probably. But yeah, to be clear, I am not going to be in on JJ McCarthy.
Yeah,
anymore.
No.
Okay, when you fail with that amount of weapons around you in a situation where historically no quarterback has really ever failed, I'm going to be out on you pretty quickly.
Yeah.
He says the same situation y'all are dogging JJ9 failing in is the same sales pitch you have for Ty Simpson, which we literally already addressed. Did we not literally already say that? Did we not already have this conversation and say, yeah, that is the one thing you could hold against Ty Simpson? Like, I don't think did we not just say
I don't think our friend here is listening, because the only reason we're talking about JJ McCarthy is because we were talking about Ty Simpson. And Zach literally said the first time JJ McCarthy's name was uttered on this live stream was Zach saying the bear case for Ty Simpson is JJ McCarthy. That's literally why we were talking about JJ McCarthy, is because Zach literally said that's how you can point to Ty Simpson failing is JJ McCarthy.
Nah. Anyway, we've given
Denzel Boston at the 204.
That's great value, I think. Denzel Boston at the 204.
Is there, Zach?
I have him ranked around like the 111 to the 201, so I thought that was pretty good value there.
He's my 201, yeah, in a tier there. Is there like, look, okay, call me crazy. Like, is it not possible that Denzel Boston just outproduces Casey Concepcion?
I think it's crazy, yeah. Because I don't think...
You think it's crazy to think that happens?
I do. I'll tell you why. Because...
Okay. Yeah, tell me.
Look, like, is it crazy? Sure, like non-zero chance, like when we say that, right? But who is in this offense that you trust to throw the deep ball? That's really where Boston is going to produce.
Yeah.
Because he's not someone that I think, if I remember correctly, let me go back and look at my scouting notes, but I believe over 70% of his receptions were first downs.
Wow.
This is not a guy that you are scheming up, free money targets for. Like Concepcion, you want to get the ball in his hands. You want to see what he can do after the catch. You're going to work that into the game plan. Meanwhile, Denzel Boston, yes, 41 of his 52 receptions were a first down. So 79% of his catches were first downs.
Yeah.
You want to know who was last in the league in first downs last year?
The Cleveland Browns, probably. Also, I think Denzel Boston's like a big touchdown threat, right?
Yeah.
Denzel Boston's a big touchdown threat, but maybe long term, like if the Browns get a quarterback in next year's class, like, I guess what I'm saying is like, I'm not sure I see like this big of a difference just because of the round 1 to 2 draft capital. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like, granted, I don't think there's a huge difference in value between the 107 and the 204, honestly, or the 107 and like Denzel Boston's my 201, right? But you get the point.
Yeah. I do think there's a drop off.
It's interesting.
Though.
It's interesting because I also think that Casey's gonna have trouble producing in this offense as well.
No, for sure. I just think he's gonna get easier,
easier targets,
easier layups
for sure.
I'm trying to find. Okay, so I had a site that showed me all the first downs, but it's not coming up for some reason. Anyway, I know that the Browns are like bottom third in first downs last year, which, to be fair though, okay, here it is. First downs, the Browns were third last. Only the Titans and Raiders had less first downs.
Oh, great. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, so that's why I'm a little bit hesitant with his type of profile. As DeZon Stribling comes off the board here.
Yes, he does. Yeah. It was funny. Like I saw like a DeZon Stribling Jonah Coleman debate going on.
Oh, really? Interesting.
It's like 4th round running back versus second round receiver when like I think Jonah Coleman is like universally was viewed as a better prospect. And yeah, it's an interesting one. I'm on the Jonah Coleman side of that, obviously, but
Jonah Coleman v. Boston, is that right?
oh no, it's Stribling.
Oh, Stribling.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm Jonah Coleman there too, but I also think if you have some strong conviction this year, then I'm not going to fight you on it too hard, but I would agree with you. We were in the Bravo draft this week, and Jonah Coleman was a 107. So
that draft was crazy though.
the Bravo draft was
Jesus,
chaos, dude.
That was Jesus doing whatever the heck he wanted with no regard for. I don't think you can on desktop. Oh, draft results, you totally can.
So yeah, this was wild. We had Coleman at the 107.
Flowers at the 108.
112. Oh, sorry, this is all cinnamon, but Cooper fell to the 202. It was just wild.
Gosh, click on the Cam Ward picture there. I mean, look at the draft that this guy had. Just unreal.
It's too late, unfortunately, but
just absolutely unreal. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, it's too late. Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
I'm scared to compete. It's not. No, I know. It's all good.
Hey, why don't you meet me in the playoffs, okay? Once you get to the playoffs,
2027,
you can talk
man.
big boy
Okay,
talk to me, okay? All right.
2027. All right, I got 6 first round. I'm so pumped for the Bravo draft next year.
Yeah.
6 first rounders is gonna be a movie.
Jeremy Bernard at the 208 is pretty good value, I would say.
Yeah. Oh wow, behind Skylar Bell.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I do like Skylar, but this is very much like just get your guy type situation. I need to check who won the consolation bracket.
Oh yes, good idea. In the meantime, Yoda the Great in the chat has a phenomenal question, Zach.
Okay.
Who would win the Royal Rumble if it was all the Flock creators?
What's the Royal Rumble?
Like the WWE, everybody in a ring thing.
Oh, well, it's all fake, right? So
Mason
I guess the question is, yeah, like what for viewership and clicks, who would make the most sense?
It would be scripted. I think if it wasn't all fake, there's no. Yeah, I mean, Scribble said Mason. I don't know about that. Maybe if it's like if you had to like run a marathon first. Some of my favorite questions, I've seen this all over the place. It's like, Luke Littler?
No.
The darts guy? Okay, well, he's like this like big darts phenom right now, okay? And he's like not in the best shape. As you can imagine, darts not the most athletic sport in the world. And these guys, I saw these guys on like a podcast clip. They were debating who would win in a race between Luke Littler and the fastest marathon runner in the world. Okay? They each had to run, I think it was like 10 miles, but in between every mile, they had to like knock out 501, like the standard darts thing.
Right.
And for anybody who doesn't play darts, like to get out, you have to hit the exact number. Like if you have 16 left, you can't hit 20. You have to hit 16. So like all this kind of stuff, right? And it was like who would win this race if the marathon runner
I will
has,
openly say I am terrible at darts, so that would take me a very long time.
Yeah, and you're not a marathon runner either.
That's adding on top of that. Yeah, you wouldn't pick me.
So you'd lose to both of them.
I'd be a UDFA.
Think Royal Rumble. I think. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I feel like Danny's just like got like a second gear that nobody else can match.
Yeah, Danny's gotten too much hate as well, so I'd want him.
Danny's just got a. Danny probably has this switch that he could flip, and it would just be over for everybody else.
Yeah. Also, Danny would be so sweaty that I probably wouldn't want to touch him. So then...
Yeah, I'd be like, you got it, bro.
I would just go down and be like, no, he won.
Yeah.
Like, Danny...
Yoda says
Danny in Austin is a rough combo. Like, a Danny in Canada is probably better. Because
I'm sure, yeah, he's probably very comfortable all of the time.
Less sweat, going on, but...
Yeah.
A Danny
in the
Austin
summer,
combo
it does
it
gets hot enough here. Yeah, Yoda says I think Corey might know karate. I didn't know that.
I have no way to verify that or de-verify that. To be honest,
does Corey know karate? He doesn't seem like a karate guy. Nathan is a sleeper, according to Michael. I think it's largely a very unathletic group of people.
Yeah, I mean, with all due respect, like Sal is athletic.
Mason as well.
Mason's athletic.
Yeah, Mason just ran a freaking Ironman, but
Nathan, I don't know. I mean, like he's athletic, but he
played soccer, right?
Yeah, I don't think he is actively trying to be athletic anymore. I don't really know his life, honestly.
Yeah. I'm toast. Like I'm absolutely toast at the moment. I got the worst knee problems in the entire world.
Yeah, you're basically Tajay Spears out there.
Bro, I might I've got no knees.
Remember that conversation in that class? That was such a fun conversation. Like, how high do we draft a guy who has no knees? It's like, he tore both of his ACLs?
No, he just doesn't have one. He just doesn't have an ACL. Yeah, hilarious. Yeah,
in either of his knees either.
In either.
I don't think anyone is.
I thought he only had one.
The thing is, like, Sal and Mason are probably the most athletic, but I wouldn't look at them and say like, that's an athlete. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they work out well and they obviously like achieve things that we're not achieving athletically, but I don't know if that makes sense. Like I'm not pointing to them.
I don't know. Well, also I don't think like I feel like
those are athletes right there.
I feel like that doesn't translate to a WWE Royal Rumble either, you know?
Yeah.
Give me like a year and I think I have a chance. Give me like I have another surgery coming up. Give me like a year to recover. And then hopefully I don't have to get any more surgeries and then I'll be fine.
Yeah, I think if you gave me a year and I knew I had to compete for something, I could. I'm quick. I'll say that. At least when I was younger, I was quick. I don't know if I'm quick anymore.
You're agile. You can duck under some stuff.
On the basketball court growing up, I was basically Chris Paul, except I had a worse shot. So you want to be set up for a pass?
Not great.
Let me run the offense. All right, let me run the point. Sit in the corners. I'll give you some open shots. I'm not going to average 28, okay? But I'll put up 12, 8 and 8. 12, 8 and 6, something like that.
8 rebounds.
Exactly.
Has Chris Paul ever had 8 rebounds in a game in his career?
Let's go 6 rebounds.
6 rebounds.
Just because I'm a dog, We've got a comp pick here, and this comp pick is for D Tarrant. So D Tarrant, let me know who you want here, my friend, and I will make sure we get that player on your team. And you can explain what the comp pick is now if you'd like.
Yeah, so just a little something that Zach has added to these land leagues where the teams that are eliminated from the playoffs, they have something to play for. And they so there's a consolation bracket instead of a toilet bowl for the bottom 6 teams. Whoever wins the consolation bracket gets the comp pick, which is just the 213 basically. It's a pick between the 212 and the 301. It comes off the board. Zach will put that person's face on the screen, and then we move on. Just a little reward for somebody who pays attention till the end, sets their lineup until week 17, even though they're not in the playoffs.
Yeah. I think we all want something to fight for, even when we're not in the playoffs. Gives you an incentive to still play your part.
We are family with a good question here. The worst crime in fantasy football. I think there are worse crimes than these two that he suggested, but I do have a very strong take on this. Looking at a trade and doing nothing, or a straight reject, is astronomically worse than sending a bad trade.
I disagree. The not responding part is tough, but there are certain trades where, and Drew Aller is the pick here, there are certain trades that don't really deserve the time to respond to, transparently. And like,
I agree.
I've been in that space where I've sent a trade like that. We've all been there, but you know what? We all got busy time. We all got busy days. We all got busy lives. If you're gonna send me a trade and I look at it and I go, "What the hell are we talking about here?" Like, am I really going to reply and say, hey, man, really appreciate the offer? Like, no, actually, it wasn't a good trade
No,
offer. It doesn't
what
warrant a reply, so I'm going to decline it, and we're not going to have a conversation because I don't have anything to say.
Yeah. No, that I completely get. What I was looking at these not in the same situation. I was looking at it like, okay, you got one league mate who every time you send him a trade, he doesn't look at it or he straight rejects it, doesn't say a single word to you.
Yeah.
Okay. You have another league mate who consistently sends you god awful trade offers. I would 100% rather have the god awful trade offers than the guy
the active
who
member,
doesn't.
sure.
Yeah, because at least like there are I have plenty of people that I've played in leagues with where they send terrible trade offers all the time. You know, I mean Mason Dodd being one of them.
Changing the clock to 1.5 minutes here in the third and fourth, guys.
It doesn't mean that you like the god awful. That's how it starts. But I'm still able to get something done with those people a lot of the time because they initially started out where it's like way favoring them. Obviously, then we're able to reach a point where it's more in the middle. Does it take longer? Probably. But
can I tell you what I think is the worst?
Hit me.
What I think is the worst is when someone sends you a trade offer and they're upset that you don't like it, and they basically harass is like the wrong word. But they're basically like, really? You don't like this? It's like, what? If I liked it, I
haven't come across that very much.
If I liked it, I would have said something, like, no, I don't like it. Or for me, I don't know if you've experienced this now because you've got your rankings on the site now. I can't tell you how many years now my own trade calculator has been used against me. When I tell people personally, I don't use trade calculators when I trade. Now, not to say there's no value in them, because obviously it's good to like get a baseline, but and there might be people watching this who have sent me a trade in my league. I'm not like thinking about it or like really upset at anyone, by the way. But the worst for me is when someone sends me an offer and they're like, "Why don't you like it? Your trade calculator says that you like it." And I'm like, "That's not me though. That's an algorithm." It's good to get baseline value.
And I think that's what it's there for, right? I think that it's, I don't think anybody would say that you should treat a trade calculator as, the be all end all. And it doesn't have it can't possibly have all of the context needed. And so the trade calculator tells you whether it's fair or not. And I think that you could say to a trade, you can say a trade's fair and you don't like it.
Yeah.
I've said that plenty of times. I've had offers where I go, the value here makes a lot of sense, but I'm not going to do this because of X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think that I just want activity. That's like my biggest thing. Like, I want people to respond to offers. I want people to, and like, thing is, because I'm actually like intentional when I send offers. Like, I'll look at your team and say like, okay, you're weak here, or you're more on the rebuild side. I'm on the competitive side. I'm not going to try to send you a 29-year-old wide receiver, this kind of stuff. And then people just straight rejects and no conversation. It's like,
that doesn't happen often in our leagues.
Why are we here?
And I don't do it often.
No, it doesn't happen.
But there are some times where it's
like,
sorry, I'm not going to send you. Well, no one will know who this is, but I love this person and I have no disrespect towards them at all whatsoever. But like, for example, this is just an example. I was sent a random 27 first for CeeDee Lamb in a league. Like, sorry.
Yeah.
There's not much to say. Now, I did actually reply to the person. I said, "Hey, I appreciate the offer. Feels a little light. I'm not going to accept it." But like that is the type of offer for me where I don't think it's crazy to say, I'm not sure it's worth my time to like. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Zach, I counter or at least like respond with, this is why I wouldn't do this,
Sure.
But I'd be more comfortable with something that looked like this. I react like that. You did, exactly.
It's rare, but I will do it sometimes.
I react like that to 95% of offers, and then there's a 5% which don't deserve that, and in that case is when I would just reject. But
and to be fair, that person, when they sent that trade, they were like, "Yeah, I guess you're right. That's not a good trade." And I'm like, "Yeah." But I think there's an etiquette.
Like this 27 class.
Yeah, I think there's an etiquette, and I think I think our leagues, for the most part, follow the etiquette pretty well.
Yeah, but absolutely.
There's certainly a line where
that's the experience that I've had.
Worth it. But also, in the same breath, if you get bad offers that you don't like and you don't reply to them, I'm going to be honest with you. You're not building a relationship with me. If I send you an offer, and this is like, in my opinion, one of the most underrated parts of playing Dynasty football. If you send me an offer and I don't like it, typically, like we said, I'm going to reply. But typically that's because I want to make sure my relationship with you is still intact and solid.
Yeah.
I don't want you to ever walk away from a conversation with me. And people probably have. I've upset people for sure. We all have. But ideally, in an ideal world, I don't want to walk away from a situation where I've upset someone and they're like, oh, that guy's a dick. You know, like people underrate how valuable it is to keep good relationships.
And the thing is, look, everybody, like you mentioned before, like everybody has lives and people are busy and stuff, but yeah, and it's like my least favorite thing is inactivity. And like I get people, you know, they go through phases of hobbies in their life, and like maybe 2 years ago when this league started, they were more into fantasy football than they are now. But like there are just leagues that I'm in where I go to send offers and I'm like, yeah, I want to shop this player because I'm lower on them and I want to get them off my roster. And I'm going to send as many people in this league an offer with this player involved. And I just skip over that person. Because I'm like, this isn't going to get answered. It's going to sit in their inbox for 2 weeks, and then I'm never going to get a response to it.
I will never tell you who, but there's like 100%. There are certain people in certain leagues where I'm like, I don't like the way we've negotiated in the past. If they send me something, I'll reply. But based off of our history of multiple times having conversations, I don't think it's really worth me investing my time into doing a trade with this person. So 100%.
Or just a lack of ever having a conversation.
Sure.
Like it's always just like straight rejects, or like just it's sitting in an inbox for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks.
Yeah. I do think, you know, there is one more group of people we should talk about. If you've ever done this, you know, we need to mature as Dynasty players. Another terrible thing that you can do in a league is when someone makes a trade and then you publicly, like, in the chat are like, so what the hell were you thinking? You know, like, it's different if it's your home league and it's like all your boys and, you know, you're like, you can talk shit to everybody, but like you want to kind of instantly isolate yourself from someone. I mean, there are always trades that go down in leagues where we're like, oh, that guy, that's interesting. But you know what I mean? Like flame throwing someone in a public chat is typically never going to be a good idea. Okay, we have a trade window here at the 3:06.
Oh wow, with 7 seconds left on the clock, by the way.
Yes.
So set your queue if you're trying to trade for this pick. One thing that, like, to go off of that, like, I think that I saw somebody in the chat saying the worst person is the guy who, after a trade goes down, puts in the chat, I would have paid more for that. That guy I don't mind. Right. Because
I think
if you'll recall,
it's difficult to say that though, but yeah.
This happened in the Flock League when I was when I traded Nico Collins, and you were the guy that went, like, we didn't know that he was being shopped at
Let's be very clear for 1 second, though. Let's be clear for 1 second. I don't operate the way I do in normal leagues like I do in the Flock.
No, of course not. No,
like,
there's
an entertainment factor here I have to account for. Just want to be clear there.
Of course. Yeah. That was a bad example to put out there, to just throw your face on that. But I think that happens because, like, it's for me, it's when somebody's shopping like an elite asset and I see they got traded for like way below market value, and I'm like, dude, if you had just talked to like 3 other people, like, just say, hey, what would you send for, you know, I'm shopping Bowers, what would you send for him? Like, you are not doing your due diligence if you take, you know, the first offer and you talk about it on elite player, and that's when that ends up happening.
I do agree that overall,
I could have got a sick deal here.
If a trade goes down for a player and other people didn't have it, this is less Dynasty, I think, and more redraft, because in Dynasty you typically know who you can and can't trade with anyway and what offers are available. Like your trade window to make something work is a little bit more limited. So I do think it applies a little bit more maybe to just got a trade offer, but yeah, I don't love this one. I would drop one of the players that I received pretty much instantly. So
I just wish I could have, like, you know, maybe this is egotistical of me, but I just wish I could have like 12 me's in a league, you know?
I think that's definitely egotistical. You know, if everybody was just like me, the world would be a better place. I don't know. Maybe that's egotistical.
I wish people like maybe it's the way that I
Oh
feel
my
about
God,
trading
this
because
pick was actually traded. Sorry, I can't believe the trade window
oh
actually did
heck yeah,
something. Professor,
it
are you
worked.
ready? You have like 5 seconds to make a pick here. I'm gonna have to put you back on the clock as the trade has now officially been completed. So I'm gonna count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, you made the pick. Okay, well there you go.
There you go. I think that like it's probably just the way I feel about trading. I love trading.
I do too.
And the thing and it's sort of it's the golden rule. I treat others exactly how I want to be treated.
I tried to.
I respond
As many
to
times as I
everything I
can.
possibly can. Exactly. And so that's I guess okay, I don't need 12 me's in a league. I need 12 people who act the same way that I do in terms of how they approach,
I mean,
negotiations.
that would be
That's a better way to
24
put
knees
it.
and no ACLs. That's just not. That's
Hey,
not a
I
good
have
ratio.
ACLs. See, the thing is, I actually have extra. I have extra ACLs. They're not
Okay.
ACLs, but
Okay, right.
yeah. I am the opposite. I am the opposite of Tajay Spears.
Okay. So we did get a trade that went down. And it was Trey Harris for the 306. Wow.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Okay.
Trey Harris is interesting. Like second round pick last year. Obviously didn't really do anything. Keenan Allen kind of cucked everybody in that room, unfortunately.
Yeah. That
But
was so annoying.
it was very annoying. Except for I drafted him in the flock league, and then that
Worked out really well for you.
But
You know why you drafted him in the flock league? Because before you went to make the pick, I said, please tell me you're not taking Deebo Samuel. Please tell me you're not taking. Oh wait, I was telling Badaki that actually. And then you took Deebo.
No, I
When did
sniped
Keenan come
Deebo
off
from
the
you.
board?
Keenan was like a freaking 13th round pick.
Yeah, you got a pretty good value on him.
Yeah, and everybody thought he was like a nothing burger signing, and I was like, I don't know, man. He was like really good with Herbert last time. So yeah, whatever. But now they drafted Brendan Thompson, which he's a bit gadgety, obviously, but like he can probably competes with Trey Harris. You're not taking like Huge and Ladd are going to be on the field. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think a light should be left on for him, but those it's hard to look at like comparables for these year two wide receivers who didn't do anything as rookies. The same thing with Jack Besh. Like I'm so in on Jack Besh because they didn't add anybody, but also it's like the comparables for how many other guys like caught 20 passes in their rookie season is obviously atrocious.
Yeah. I think you got it. Like Pete Carroll really pissed me off last year.
Dude, Besh literally had 20
catches. Value
catches.
on Max there.
That is a really good value on Max Clare. 29 targets, 20 receptions last year. And that's the thing. It's like I feel like you just have to throw out everything that the Raiders did. And if I'm like giving Geno a pass and I'm giving Ashton Genty a pass, I feel like we got to give Besh a pass to an extent as well. Like Besh was going mid-second last year.
Yeah.
Right? Like I feel like you could send a third for him this year, even in this terrible class.
I've already got him in every league, so you don't have to trade for him when you already have him in every league.
Yeah, exactly. I have so much.
It's not even a flex. Okay, we got a trade window.
It might
here.
be.
We've got a trade window here. People are holding their picks till their trade windows to the third and fourth rounds here.
Hey, there's a market.
Yeah,
you love it when there's a market.
Ricky says it's all Pete. Besh will get work. You know what? This is a great opportunity to let you guys know. This is JRL's first pick. Yeah, my bad, brother. I haven't had a pick yet either. I'm just waiting for the 411 here. If you guys are hanging out with us, we are going to do a giveaway today for a live team playbook. All you have to do to enter, step 1 is to like the stream, and step 2 is to type our code word of the day, which is Hermes. Okay, Hermes. And the reason it's Hermes is because that is the title of our next live land league, which will draft on Monday night.
And Zach is just hating the fact that he decided to name it this.
Yeah, because I can't say it, and I just
How do you say this word?
I'm like Hermes. I don't know.
Hermes.
Hermes. I'm like, can someone just put me out of my misery at this point?
Is it just Herms? Maybe it's just Herms.
But 2 spots remaining in that league, and all you have to do to claim a spot, if you're interested, everybody who becomes a brand new annual Mother Flock member gets fast-tracked into a league. Okay? So, if you've been waiting to support for quite some time, just saying, now's the best time. If you would like to get a live team playbook, right? Guaranteed review of your Dynasty team. I'll put myself in your shoes. Game plan for your rookie draft. If you want the 6 trade question vouchers, the rookie report, the cheat sheet, interactive cheat sheet we've been talking about pretty consistently on the channel, Land League's website, Into a League, all that, Discord access, support the show, support me, keep the lights on, then consider becoming a promo code LAND annual Mother Flocker member. You will get a instant fast track into the league that drafts this Monday night. The first 2 people will. Sorry. First 2 people who sign up. Yeah.
Somebody also asked about, is there any hope left for Jalen Royals? That's a different situation, I think, because I know you really liked him as a prospect. I was excited about him.
I did.
But 4th round, like, and he wasn't supposed to fall that far. Like, he was like, it felt like he had some 2nd round buzz, and then it was like he's gonna get picked on day 2, and then it just didn't happen. And he didn't do anything last year.
No.
On a team that kind of needed it, like especially beginning of the year with Worthy hurt and Rice not playing, and it was like Tyquan Thornton is out there. So,
I really like Jalen Royals. I do. I wonder where Jalen Royals would have gone in this draft. It's funny, like seeing Dazon Stribling at pick 33. I'm like, where would Royals have been drafted here?
Yeah, but also they took him over Boston. Like,
yeah.
I feel like that's a Dazon Stribling thing and not a 2026 draft class thing.
Yeah, you could be right. I don't know. But
again, like there was like no wide receivers in the 2nd round. It was him and Jeremy. 2 wide receivers in the 2nd round.
Man.
Just nuts.
Spiders did mention Jalen Royals injured in training camp, which is fair. Look, he's a taxi at best right now.
Yeah, like I'm on many teams, like in land leagues with a short bench. Like I don't blame people for not rostering him either.
I think we needed another Tokyo Drift Rashid Rice offseason for him to step into a bigger role. Unfortunately, so far, Rashid Rice has been a good boy.
It's never too late. You know, Zach,
but
I was doing a bit of like a
You can still rent Lamborghinis today, so there's still hope.
Yes. I was doing a like revamp of my Dynasty rankings, like after the draft and everything. I'm just done pretending like I think that Rashid Rice isn't going to be signed long term.
You think he'll be there long term?
I do.
It's almost like who else?
This latest, like this thing that this latest thing that came out that had people talking about potential suspension. This was before the Chiefs even drafted him that this happened.
Yeah.
This is their best wide receiver, right? The guy who produces for them like crazy, regardless of how good he is. This is him dealing with something that happened previous to the time that they knew him. The, car accident thing is in the rearview mirror, no pun intended. And it's just like, if he has another big year with no issues, which like you hope he's learned from everything. Do they treat this do they treat Rashid Rice the way they treat the cornerback position? Potentially? Like, I feel like that's the only path to me being wrong in terms of like, they think that they can just develop somebody, they can get somebody else to do what Rashid Rice does, because obviously he just isn't as talented as the other top wide receivers in the league.
This would be treated like Terry McLaurin in Washington rather than like a Justin Jefferson extension or something.
Sure, but if Rashid Rice has another like 20 point, if he has like a 20 point per game season or like an 18 point per game season and he puts up like 1,200 yards, he's going to be asking for some big money.
He is. I currently have him ranked 28th overall. You have him 27th. So
Okay, so yeah, we're there. We're
he's
there.
currently my wide receiver 11.
Do I have him at 10?
That's just
I think I'm at 10.
and that's just because like when I look at all these names here, I think he can outscore all of them this year. So,
I mean, Zach, he's my wide receiver.
I think
He's my wide receiver 4.
I think
redraft.
the trade is the trade window's over. Sorry, guys.
Like he's pretty easily my wide receiver 4 in redraft.
In redraft, wide receiver 4.
Yeah.
Wow. I would need
Oh no,
to check.
no! I'm tripping. I forgot about the top 3.
Okay.
It's getting late. I'm tired. He's my wide receiver 7.
I'm comfortable
7.
top 10, but 4 is
7. Yeah. So I apologize. I was thinking about the 1-2 turn, which is where like Lamb, Amon-Ra, and Jefferson are going, like the late first, and I was like, he's my next guy, so he's 4. I forgot about Puka, Jason, and Chase. So no, he's my wide receiver 7, and he's firmly my wide receiver 7 because like I view him similarly to what I think like CD and Amon-Ra could do this year. Because that's all he's done when he's been on the field.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I'm pulling out my projections now. I have Rashid Rice as my wide receiver 9 at 17 points per game. I'm a little bit.
Okay. You're talking about your projections, yeah.
I'm a little bit more.
So who's
conservative?
7 and 8? Who's 7 and 8?
7 and 8. 7's George Pickens. 8 Justin Jefferson.
Oh my gosh. 8 Justin. Is Neighbors in the top 6?
Neighbors is 5. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
But
from
so Neighbors to
projections, right?
Rice,
If you were to rank
17 points per game.
Okay, because are you worried at all about the injury with Neighbors? Like, did that bump him down
for sure
at all? Because like for me, like I'll do my projections and then I'll like make my rankings accordingly. But like the rankings don't equal the projections. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it comes down to how the offseason goes and what we hear about Neighbors. If Neighbors
one thing like right
was
now,
playing
I'm not,
week 1, then I would draft them over Lamb, Pickens, Jefferson, Rice, London.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't get there on Amon-Ra, Jefferson, or Lamb. I think that if he's playing week 1,
I mean,
I'll probably take him over Rice.
They just targeted Wan'Dale Robinson 140 times.
Yeah, but I'm just worried about the slow ramp up.
Right. No, that's why I'm saying
like he was like late to get surgery and everything.
It comes down to how it comes down to the reports that we hear. But my projections don't account for him not playing week 1 right now.
Of course. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, because I don't know how you could. Like
the player that I have ranked highest that scares me, or projected highest on a per game basis that scares me, is Zay Flowers.
Oh God, I can't. I
think he's actually really underrated.
Really?
Yeah, and I can't believe I'm turning a corner on this after 2 years of saying he's overrated. Not as a player. It's never been as a player. It's more of an asset. But
so, like, where is he ranked?
I don't want to say.
Can I give you an over/under? I'm gonna guess the line. Okay.
Yeah, but wait. Let me see if I've accounted for Surratt yet. In these projections. Not yet. I have accounted for Jacoby Lane. So let me think about this 1 second. Maybe I'll save myself from looking like an absolute fool.
Potentially. Like
the problem is I don't know how. Yeah, give me a second.
I just think there's a massive, I just think that there's a really capped ceiling on a player like this. And what he did last year, I feel like is like literally best case scenario. And it was 14 points per game.
Literally hitting the goalie.
Literally best case scenario.
Literally hitting the goalie.
Like I
don't think I would agree best case scenario.
You don't? You wouldn't agree?
No, because a player like this, I think the touchdown rate can increase with a coaching change.
But they just
Puka
added.
Nacua doesn't score touchdowns, right? It's just, I know it's a different player. All I'm saying is like what we are terrible at is like saying this is what the past showed us, and that means that the future is going to say that. Okay, I'm comfortable to share. Go ahead and guess.
Well, here's the thing. Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
God, that
The
didn't
thing
move
with the
him down at all. Shit.
Okay, my line. I'm gonna give you an over under of where I think he is, and I want you to tell me over or under. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 17.5.
Under.
Meaning you like him less than that.
Yes.
Right? Oh no. So higher number, you mean? Under draft
Let's
position?
just say like if it's higher or lower than a number, not odds.
Okay, higher or lower than 17.5?
Yeah, lower.
Wow. Oh my gosh. No way. No way.
Lower than 17.5, bro. I'm saying let's just say higher or lower, not odds, just than the number.
Yeah. So you have him. Okay, so what is he? Your wide receiver 15?
Higher.
16.
Again, you're not understanding what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You
Higher draft position, you mean?
Yes,
Not
like
higher number. Okay,
yes.
okay. 13.
higher.
Zach. There's no way you have him as a top 12 wide receiver. Zach,
Projections. It won't be how I rank them, but
he was wide receiver 13 in points per game last year.
Yep.
In a season where, yeah, what 10?
wide receiver 12.
Wide receiver 12 in the projections. Yeah.
And that won't be my
That's,
rankings, but that's currently my projections. Last year, he had a 29% target share.
He did.
14 points per game. And scored 5 touchdowns. So I think you're kind of projecting at his floor. And also, what I'm accounting for is a change in the offense, because I'm not saying like I'm gonna put the Ravens are gonna have 100 more passing attempts per game. I'm not saying, or in the season, I'm not saying that, but it's the first time in Lamar's entire career that it'll be a new coaching staff or a new head coach, right? So, and I do think logically, as Derrick Henry is getting older, that you're probably going to start throwing the ball a little bit more. So I've got him at 15.8 points per game, over 1,300 yards, 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, so you are projecting a jump up then.
Yes, I am.
Like,
For the
here's what I
offense,
would say,
for the
like,
passing attack as a whole, I'm projecting a jump up. And again, like, Mark Andrews is not the guy. Isaiah Likely is gone. Mark Andrews is the guy, but he's not the guy he used to be, is what I'm trying to say. Likely is gone. Surratt is still a 4th-round pick. Jacoby Lane is still a raw prospect. Rashad Bateman is still injured every day of the week. So I still think Zay Flowers is going to be heavily used in this offense.
Yeah, with the touchdowns specifically, like, it does worry me that they added 2 guys who are really good in the red zone.
Yeah, but that's only me giving him 6 touchdowns on the year.
That's true. You are going nuts on the 1,300. Yeah, I feel like it's kind of weird to me that the year that Lamar sucks, Zay is all of a sudden good. Not good. Obviously, he was good before, but Zay's all of a sudden, taking that next step.
Yeah.
Lamar missed 7-8 games this past year. Also, I would like to say, okay, this is interesting. I mean, Zach, Zay Flowers had week 1 and week 18. He had 28 points and basically 30 points. Wide receiver 1 both weeks. Bookended the season wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
He only had 2 other games above 20 fantasy points.
Mm-hmm. And when
everything else is he's sitting at 12.
I don't project based off of only his floor games.
Of course not. Of course not. Of course not. Yeah. Without a doubt. It's just like, I just remember the Zay Flower experience last year being terrible.
No,
And
I
then he finished as a
100%
wide
agree.
receiver 7. Yeah.
It was very much a floor play.
Yeah.
It was expensive Khalil Shakir. So I don't
Yeah,
disagree.
don't
with
get
that.
me started
But
on
he
Khalil
finished with
Shakir,
1,200
man.
yards and 5 touchdowns. I just think like we need to project a little bit of a change in the offense here.
Sure. I also think that they would maybe try to.
I'm almost
I
on
think
the clock, by the way. I have a pick here
Wow.
soon, finally in this
This is
draft.
exciting. I feel like they could get back to running more now that Lamar's not hurt all year.
Sure, or you could protect him a little bit more and
Sure.
ask him to run a little bit less as he gets older. And
Sure.
overall, as an offense, you might have to throw the ball a little bit more if Derrick Henry's not going to be someone you can give the ball to 20 times per game, or if your defense is going to be elite. So, I also think that Pittsburgh is going to be better as an offense this year with the addition of Mike McCarthy. I just think they'll be in more games where they need to score a high amount of points as well. Raridon's a big value there at the 406, I thought.
Yeah, that is a really good value.
He was a screaming value on the rookie interactive cheat sheet there.
Heck yeah.
And now it's funny because there's like no one I really care about anymore on the board.
I mean, like, yeah, nah, there is nobody to care about. I don't know. I don't even know who I would say you should care about.
Let's see what. Oh, fuck.
Actually, fuck?
Yeah.
You wanted Caleb Douglas.
Yeah, my 26th ranked player. Guaranteed
Wow, yeah.
GRV is using the cheat sheet, man. Look at the cheat sheet right now.
Caleb
Just
Douglas
a
screaming
value on the board right now. God damn.
Yeah, in reality, I don't think you missed out on much.
I'm not living in reality, Sammy.
Well, no,
That's the
yeah, you're
difference
living in the
between you and me.
2026 rookie class is where you're living, unfortunately.
That
now.
sucks. Well, I can draft Marlon Klein here. I guess that's what I'm going to do. Oh, I wasn't even on the board. Okay, we'll take Marlon Klein.
Now you can draft Marlon Klein. Shout
That's
out
my
to him.
one pick. The generational wealth is going to come from me selecting Marlon Klein at the 411. You heard it here first. Everybody's going to regret passing up on Marlon Klein.
This is gonna be the Zach. Your maybe your most famous rookie draft moment of all time was drafting Puka Nacua in the Bravo League.
Yes.
Could Marlon Klein be the next Puka Nacua?
Maybe.
People are asking.
Maybe. I mean, will I eventually trade him for Chris Olave?
Zach, by the way,
and think it was a great
Zach,
move.
Zach.
Yes.
Sanity has won. Okay, I need you to not leave the draft screen. Go to the running back tab.
Yes.
Guess who Sleeper has added?
Did they add Terrion Stewart?
Our boy.
No way. Really?
He's there. He's there.
Oh, Terrion. No photo.
Terrion.
Oh,
but
how
not
fun
yet.
would it be
No photo
if
yet.
he like turns into something in Kansas City? He's not going to, but God, that would be
but if
fun.
he did. But if he did.
What are the odds, percentage-wise, that he ever scores a single fantasy point?
One fantasy
Just
point?
one fantasy point.
I think I'd put a good amount of money on that at even money. If that was even, I would take that bet 100%.
Well, massive changes to my roster after that blockbuster of a draft we just had. I mean, you guys are not going to believe how crazy my
The turnover over here is absolutely nuts.
I have added Marlon Klein. That's it. So I need to drop one player. And I mean, holding Deshaun Watson is probably negative for the locker room.
He might start, Zach. You see the report today?
Exactly. That's why I'm thinking I gotta just we'll see. I'll drop Taj Brooks and we will put Marlon in the taxi spot there. But That was a fun one. Guys, thanks for joining us. This is your last chance to enter today's giveaway. If you want a live team playbook, all you have to do to enter the giveaway is like the stream. And once you've liked it, the second step is to type our code word today, which is Hermes, whatever, okay? Hermes. I don't know what that, okay, who knows how to say this thing, okay? Is it Hermes? Is it Hermes? Is it your dad? I don't know. But I'm going to give you guys, until we answer these trade questions, to enter. Mason's in the chat. He says, nothing better than the land method. He says, also, by the way, I'm sure someone from Sleeper watches your streams, so if you talk about a player you want, they'll probably add them. Oh.
Well, they heard our cries.
I was going to say, I feel really bad because I talked shit about Sleeper for about 5 minutes on today's stream.
We did actually do that. So I hope he's wrong, honestly.
Sorry if anybody works in Sleeper and watches the stream. I do like your platform. I just think you guys, you stop prioritizing.
Basically, what he means, I can help you, Zach, here. Basically, he thinks that you're a bunch of sellouts. Is what he
exactly
thinks. And he's trying to find the nicest way possible to say that.
No, look, whatever makes money is what you probably have to focus on. Okay.
Of course.
Iced out AI Dan 3 is in a Superflex start 9. And if you guys want to submit any trade questions today, it's the same way that you can get your team reviewed on tonight's stream. It's with that the link tree that we've got here. I'll go ahead and put that in the comment section of the chat, and I will make it our pinned comment as well. So you guys can submit trades there. You can submit your team reviews there. You can become an annual with a Flocker member there. It's all with the same exact link. But it's a super flex, only a start 9 though, so it's not a very large lineup. Would you send Saquon and Brian Thomas for James Cook? This is a pretty aggressive trade, I would say. I know that the logic is saying that I am saying you would win. This is why I say calculators don't really always account for exactly what I'm thinking here. This seems like an aggressive move.
This is pure value is what the calculator does, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that you think one way or the other.
If you made this move, you'd be starting Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, James Cook, Bijan, Neighbors, Burden, Laporta. You've got the 105, and then you would have 2 more flex spots, which would be between Marvin, Jameson, Terry McLaurin. Yeah, I think he's a contender. I just feel like making this move probably doesn't help you contend right now, though. I probably would keep the same side.
Yeah, I don't love it. I don't see Brian Thomas that far behind James Cook.
Well, I disagree with that, but I just think overall value. There's
100%. Yeah, I'm just closer on them than you are. So I definitely wouldn't do this. I think that. Yeah, I get it. Like, I would be more comfortable if that was like Marv.
Okay, right. So your counter, if Sammy was to counter, he would throw Marv in there instead
of Saquon. Like, that makes me feel better.
Oh, so Marv instead of Brian? I thought you said.
No, sorry. Marv instead of BTJ. Okay. Marvin Saquon for James Cook. I feel better about that.
It's close in value. I just don't love it personally for you. Walk on here with a trade question. I wonder if this is the same team that he's. It looks like the same team he's getting a review on, so I'll wait on that one. Staplers. It's a 1 quarterback start 7. This is the smallest format you can possibly have in a very small league. So premium players really, really matter here. He's sending away Walker,
they cost a lot, clearly.
Waddle, and the 109 for Omarion Hampton. If he were to make this move,
10-teamer.
He's starting
10-teamer.
Hurts, Bijan, Hampton, Jason, Jefferson, Loveland. He's got Jeremiah Love as well. That would be his last flex spot. On his bench, he would have the 102, the 104, Fannin, Adunze, Judkins. See,
here's what I would say.
Yeah.
Here's how I would approach a league like this. I don't care about the really small lineup in terms of the best value. I care about the really small lineup in terms of the most points. And in this case, like, Omarion Hampton and Kenneth Walker are going to go in the exact same range in redraft this year.
Yeah.
So I don't think you're upgrading your lineup by doing this.
You're getting younger and getting a.
You're getting younger, sure, but like.
I would be curious if you could add onto this trade. So,
But like, does this help you win this year? I would say no.
No, but I wonder if you can add Jamar Chase. I know that sounds crazy. Then send back Rome Odunze and your 102. Right?
Sure, worth a shot. Yeah,
then you've got the depth to make a move like this. You don't need all those players on your bench. And that's going to absolutely skyrocket your weekly points. But look, like from a value perspective, I don't think it's moving the needle all that much. But because you have so much depth, I see why you're wanting to upgrade. It's just
I just want to get a more of a hammer.
Right. Yeah. So a more solidified hammer is what Sammy's saying there.
Yeah.
What's up, Scott? Says, will you explore variation on this deal? Sure, we can have a look. So you're sending Love and the 101 for Caleb Williams and James Cook. Here's how I would view this. The 101 and Caleb Williams, I prefer the 101, but the overall Dynasty community is probably split there. And I very much prefer James Cook over Jordan Love. It's not really close. So I think there's a bigger move there between Love and Cook personally. I'm fine to take the deal.
I completely agree.
If you make this deal, you are starting Caleb Williams, Matthew Stafford, then Hampton, James Cook, Puka, London, Pitts. Then you are flexing. You would need how many more? 3 or 4?
4 more.
But essentially, it would be between Olave, Brian Thomas, Devonta Smith, DJ Moore, Mike Evans, Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, I like this a lot.
Losing the 101 sucks, but
it does. But I think you probably win the league this year.
Yeah, it is a league-winning move. I don't really know how this trade is going to change. Like you mentioned, like, can you look at variation? In a league, in a trade of this magnitude, I don't see many variation options here unless you were to, like, if you could stretch it further enough to like a fan and Pitt swap or something.
Or like, Zach, would you rather give up Drake London than the 101? And
for sure.
Get James Cook back, or get a wide receiver instead of James Cook if there's one that makes sense? Because you have a lot of depth at wide receiver, like Puka, Olave, BTJ, Devonta Smith, DJ Moore, Mike Evans I saw on there.
Yeah. This would be a way better trade for sure. But overall, I would accept the version that you have if you wanted. Those are some counters that you could try. Schmeat is here. He's sending away Devon Achane for Judkins and a first. It's a 12-team start 10, so it's a big lineup for. It's not big. It's a healthy size starting.
It's normal.
Lineup.
Pretty normal.
Really, it depends on where that first is projected.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
The team that you're giving Achane would have Dart, Shuck, Achane, nobody else. Really, that team is quite bad. But what they might do next, my friend Schmeat, if they're gonna plan a trade like this, if I was them, the next thing I would do is I would send away the 102, 105, 106, 107, 201 to try and compete.
Do they have multiple firsts in 27? Like, this might not even be their pick.
Right. That's a good question. I don't know. It doesn't really let us know that. I think it's a relatively fair deal, though.
I think, like, I'd rather...
Oh, wait. That's his team. Sorry. They actually have Drake May, Caleb Williams, Bijan, and then they would get Achane with Bijan, Amon-Ra, Pittman.
Okay, if this is late, I don't like it.
Their tight end room is terrible. Their wide receiver depth is terrible. So they're really top heavy. And the only good players that they would have really is Amon-Ra, Bijan, Caleb, Drake, and Achane if you did this. But everybody else, their RB room is really weak. Pittman is their second best receiver. They have no good flexes, maybe McMillan and Dobbs, and their tight end room is terrible. So,
what other picks do they have
for you? Not many. Not any that are valuable. So,
like, I think it's like if I can get like I'd like to add like the 202 and like their 27 second, ideally, just because I think you can get more for HN in season. Like, I think somebody's sending 2 firsts plus, or at least that kind of value when he's scoring points, you know?
I think that's a fair assessment. Alternatively, can you do? Oh no, never mind. I was gonna say like Pittman to move, but you don't really have good receivers anyway. So yeah, hopefully that's helpful. T. Gotzi here with the trade question. He's sending away the 101 for Bucky and Pickens.
Wow.
Superflex start 10. If you made
This is
move.
This is Pickens signed his franchise tag today, actually, confirmed. So he was reported that he was going to sign it, and then it was reported that he hasn't signed it yet, like a weekend later, and now he has actually signed it. Zach, I think he's getting traded.
I don't agree.
Why on earth would he sign?
Offseason.
I haven't until now either. But why on earth would he sign the franchise tag in April after the Cowboys have said they're not giving him a long-term contract? Why would he sign it now?
To trade for him and give him the huge extension he wants after free agency and the draft? I don't think there's a team out there that could do that. And more importantly,
I think there are plenty of teams. The Raiders?
Are the Raiders going to send a bunch of picks in a rebuild to do a trade like that? Probably not.
I think now that they have their quarterback, I think the Raiders would absolutely send like their second next year or multiple seconds for George Pickens. I think he's probably worth a first. I don't think they'd send their first.
Jerry Jones is not someone who thinks that this team is not ready to compete, whether that's delusional or not. And if you're going to send away George Pickens, who you have control over for 1 year, what are you going to get back to help you compete right now? I just don't think
make sense.
Pickens is going to be moved.
But why would he sign the franchise tag?
Well, he doesn't have another option. To me.
He can hold out like everybody else does when they're tagged and they don't want to sign it.
He could have signed it because he actually loves being in Dallas. Like, transparently, I feel like George Pickens is the type of guy where if he's producing, he's happy and he likes his life. If he's not, and he's traded somewhere where the offense sucks, I don't know if he would be that happy.
He has been in a terrible situation for 3 years of his career. He finally gets in a good situation and is able to produce, and now it's time to cash out, and they're saying no. And he's like, okay.
He's getting $27 million. All I'm saying is, like, he probably doesn't have to worry about money again. He's probably happy.
They don't think this way, though. No player thinks that way.
You don't know, though. Like, a guy like George Pickens, you think on top of his priority list is not putting up numbers?
But Zach, we have never seen a team say, we are not giving this person a long-term extension. If they want to play, they're playing on the franchise tag, and that player just going, okay, in April. That just never happens.
It could happen.
We always see this franchise tag thing where it drags out into the season, and it's a holdout, and then there's fines in training camp and all this stuff. I think he gets traded, and it scares me a little bit.
I really don't know, honestly. I don't know if he gets traded. I don't think the Cowboys are going to move him. But I'm assuming you wouldn't do this trade then. I'm assuming there's too much at risk.
Well, that's what I was saying, is that I think that, like, if he's in Dallas, I'm smashing this, but I am a tiny bit. I would still do it. But I am a tiny bit worried. Is the whole point.
I don't think your team is good enough to go all in. Your quarterback 2 sucks. You'd have 3 decent running backs, but your wide receiver depth, I don't know. I mean, if you made this move, you would be starting Herbert, Jones. I don't like that. Cook, Bucky is fine. Neighbors, Egbuka. Then Gadsden, and you have 3 more flex spots you have to fill out, which would be Pickens, Devonta. Last flex is Travion. It's not bad. It's just, I don't think it's the move that, like, puts you in the main contending zone. Maybe you make this move if you don't have your 27 first and you know Pickens is going to be there. If you do have your 27 first and you don't know Pickens is going to be there, you probably hold. Or maybe you find a way to grab another piece here. You know, for example,
Geno? Can I get, like, if I'm trying to contend, can I get Geno?
Geno, well, yeah, for sure. You should be able to get Geno. I was almost thinking, like, we do a Javonte, down swap or something. That's probably asking for too much. I'm not sure how to meet the value. Anyway, I think I'm probably keeping the 101. It's close.
He said he was leaning no in the chat.
Chris, is sending away Travion in a second for James Cook. If you're contending, I can't think of a reason not to do this.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah.
And
Easy.
it looks like you are contending. Yeah, decent team. I think Henderson. I mean, it wouldn't shock me at all if Henderson's ranked higher than James Cook after this season. But right now, if you're trying to contend, Cook is.
That's
is
true.
what you know.
That is absolutely true. It's just he holds so much risk.
Yeah. Mendoza and Henderson or Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
Superflex start 9.
Yeah, I would be ecstatic to get Joe Burrow for this price.
What if your starting running backs were Jordan Love, Jadarian Price, and no RB3?
Nico, then Higgins. I'm less excited.
Yeah, I don't think.
But you're in. You seem to be sort of. Yeah. What's the quarterback situation? Kraft and Sadiq is nice.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence. So I feel like you're not. Maybe you're not in a position to do this.
Yeah, I don't think he is. I don't think your team's good enough to make a move like this right now. I would hold. It's good value, but I don't think you're in a position to.
I don't know. I feel like maybe I would just do it and then like.
Burrow's not as easy to trade as he once was, though.
That's true, but also like, can I just not like do this and then down tier from like T-Law to Goff and get like a starting running back?
That's an option as well. Okay, guys, let's do this giveaway. We have 57 entries. Shout out to you guys showing some love. All you had to do to enter was simply like the stream and then type Hermes, Hermes. Is that right?
Hermes.
Hermes. We should get some cheerleaders here. Actually, that would be really weird.
Give me an H. That would be really fun. That'd be really fun. You make a good pick and then they just go nuts.
Yeah. Okay. Good luck to everybody, and to everybody, good luck. This is to win a live team playbook. And our winner for today is Nick Jacobson. Shout out to you, Nick. All you have to do to claim your voucher is DM me on Discord. I know you, Nick. Everybody else, you're not going to Paris. You're not
Big
going to Paris.
Sty XXX.
Okay.
Shout out to Nick. Shout out to the chat. I'm gonna hop off here, Zach.
Easy.
I'll leave you to all the team playbooks. I'll be back on Monday.
Yes, sir.
And I'll be here for every rookie draft that I can make it for. I will
absolutely, my friend.
I will be here. Bacon Bub says it's rigged, and I honestly kind of agree.
You want one? So let me check the schedule next week, Sammy, just so you know. I'm pretty sure next week we've got, and I can text you this later, but we'll have the Delta draft on Sunday, then the startup on Monday, and then another rookie draft same time as today. So those will be the 3 streams next week.
Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. Okay. Yep.
All right, brother.
Sounds good. Yeah. Thanks for hanging out, chat. All love.
Let's all say bye to Sammy, and Sammy is streaming on Saturday night, by the way. This will be my last stream of the week until next week.
Saturday night.
Sammy will be streaming
Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time, the Lord's time.
That's right.
Come hang out. We're gonna have an absolute blast. It's gonna be so much fun. I'll probably do a Dynasty startup. So awesome. That'll be fun. Yeah.
All right, dude. We'll see you soon. Guys. Goodbye, Mr. Sammy. May we always remember his love for Brian Thomas Jr. Okay, let's jump into some team playbooks, gang. Thanks for joining me here. We do have someone who bought the Priority Pass, Jay Stump, who is a long-term member. Did buy the Priority Pass, so he will jump the queue. If you don't know, when you become a promo code LAND and you're the Flocker member, by default, you have a live team playbook. You can upgrade it to 2 different options. The first option is the Priority Pass, which lets you skip the queue. And the second option is the Pro Pass, which allows you to double your playbooks. Now, obviously, if you're not a member of LAND, you can still purchase a playbook a la carte, and those 3 options are available to you by default as well. So you can check out the link in the pinned comment. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and those will be your main options on today's stream if you want to get the team looked at. What's up, Jay Stump? Appreciate you being here and supporting the show. Multi-year supporter. And he says, plan right now is 1 year reload, grabbing running backs in 2027, have Rome, Olave, Pitts, and Sharps on the block. Probably stick and pick with a 102 and 4 as the trade market isn't there to make sense of it as of now. Stay on 1 year reload or make moves to grab running backs now and win in 26. Okay, let's have a look together, J Stump. This is a Superflex start 10. There is a tight end premium. You are starting Drake May, Kyler Murray. No running backs. Puka, Neighbors, Pitts. Then you're flexing Olave, Egbuka, Adunze. You would have Watson on the bench. I mean, personally, I think your team is too good not to try to compete. The combination of, and these would be your untouchables. Drake May would be your first untouchable. We could even tear down from him if we wanted to. Puka Nakua, Malik Neighbors. That combination alone, it makes it difficult for me not to try to compete. I guess it depends on what those first rounders are worth in your league. But players that you could hold right now, I would say Emeka Egbuka is a strong hold given the kind of in and out nature that you're in. Tank Bigsby, I would like to hold considering if Saquon goes down, he could have some big value this year. Roma Dunze is another name that you could definitely hold right now. And then Terrence Ferguson, I would like to hold as well. So yes. So what's up, JSB? Welcome in, man. Welcome in. All right, players that you can drop on this team. It might sound crazy, but Xavier Legette. I dropped Xavier Legette in the league. If you guys want to keep holding on, I get it, but I feel like a fifth-year senior would have been in a better position now than he is. Cade Stover, if you still have hope in Cade Stover, then fair enough. You know, you can wait it out with him, but I would drop those two names if I had to. Quinn Ewers, you could drop. Adonai Mitchell at this point, you could probably drop with what the moves they made in the draft. On the waiver wire, there's no one that interesting. I mean, DJ Giddens has a chance to be the handcuff there in Indianapolis. But if I were you right now, I definitely think you're a sleeper. But I would probably try and push towards contending this year. Overall, I would give this team, I'd say you're probably in that B- type of range, right? And there's certainly some moves that you can make to put yourself in a better position to go out and contend this year. Again, you have the 102 and the 104. No seconds, thirds, but honestly, in this class, that's a great position to be in. Those are pretty valuable assets. So thinking about your options here, you said that there's not a big market for the picks in your league, but I would still explore what that market is. So let's give you some examples. If you're at the 102, you're going to grab Tate. If you're at the 104, it's either going to be Jadarian Price or Jordan Tyson or, Mendoza, Lemon. It's going to be one of these names, right? It's one huge tier for me. However, if you were able to compete, I never changed my YouTube name. Okay, interesting. Jay Stump changed the branding up a little bit there. Okay. But look, obviously in an ideal world, you're able to get like a Walker here at the 102 or a James Cook here at the 102. At the 104, it really is. I'm actually recording a video today about this topic exactly. At the 104 right now, I do perceive the regular value of this pick to be Walker range in some leagues. In a lot of leagues, Walker's going to be too expensive here. Otherwise, it's going to be maybe a little too difficult. Like, it's not enough for, like, personally, I'd rather keep the pick than go a Chase Brown. But if you can get Chase Brown plus something, if you can get a Bucky Irving plus something, just thinking out loud, those type of names make a lot of sense. So We can explore that a little bit more on the chalkboard, though. J Stump, you may have heard, if you haven't heard, all the war rooms are now getting posted directly to Discord once I finish them. So in the Discord, under the land community, you will see a war room tab, and that's where everyone's war rooms will be exported to while we are live streaming, so you can save it pretty much instantly. But let's dive into your team and go to the chalkboard. So what was the Drake May teardown you almost had accepted today? What did that look like? Also, we can look at like the 104. We talked about Chase Brown plus something. Cam Scadaboo plus something might work there. Just thinking about that range. We said Bucky Irving plus something. Could potentially work there. Sorry, I've just gotten 4 trade offers from back in 82. Are you still on the stream back in 82? Oh. I mean, we both know you're going to cut these players, brother. I think we both know back in 82 that all these players you're sending in a trade offer, you're going to cut. Let's be honest here for a second, brother. Okay. Yeah, I would like to hear what the Drake May offer was. But let's look at the Chase Brown team for a second and just see what a trade could look like if we were to get there, send them the 104. So, in my mind, getting Chase Brown plus Josh Jacobs would be really ideal. Like, imagine that outcome. Chase Brown plus Josh Jacobs or Travis Achan, like whichever one works. Then you could keep the 102 and, still go out and draft Carnell Tate and try and contend this year. And still have the flexibility to move around in season with your 2027 picks. The Bucky Irving owner, excuse me. What do they have? Oof. It'll be harder to get Saquon, I think, but yeah, same idea. Bucky Irving plus Saquon Barkley. You could even, like on the cheaper side of things, if you wanted to compete, DJ Moore is not a bad add-on there for you. Scadaboo. Let's look at the Scadaboo owner. Scadaboo owner would be tougher to get a deal done with them, probably. Like, you're probably not going to get Scadaboo and T. Higgins. So that's going to be more difficult. Maybe you'd have to send like a 27 second to get a deal like that done at minimum. He says, I tried May and Rome for Nix, Hampton, and a 27 first. Wow, that would have been awesome. So you went Bo Nix plus Rome, Adunze, plus a 27 first. Or sorry. Rome was here. And then you got back Amarian Hampton. Yeah, I like that trade for you, honestly. I like that trade for you a lot. Let's keep looking at a couple more options here. The alternative to this, by the way, is if no one's willing to value your picks, then you just take the best player available and you trust the process. What a weird team this guy's got. Let's see. So, what is the Daniels gap? Jaden Daniels. What's the gap there between him and Drake May in your league? Would it be crazy to ask for a Judkins? And then maybe you can give back your 27 second. How far is that gap in your league? Some people are willing to pay premium prices, like the Josh Allen prices. Other people are not. How far do we want to tear down? The Knicks owner, right? An alternative there is Knicks, Javonte Pickens. So it would be similar. But you would get Javonte Williams here. And George Pickens. And I don't know, alternatively, like, is there a world where you can add onto that deal and get back, or send your 27 second to get back one of those Scataboos or something? Right? So that's an option. Shuck is probably too far down. Caleb Williams. A Caleb Williams, James Cook. Caleb Williams plus James Cook. Something like that is interesting to me. I don't think you could add on a 27 first, but obviously you could try that to begin with if you send your second back. But he would be a good fit for you. Yeah. Let me make sure there's not another tear down I like here. I don't mind the idea of Joe Burrow plus Chase Brown. Right? Something like that. I don't know if I would do that straight up. You know, maybe you also ask for Josh Jacobs and you send a second. But that's another idea there. Obviously, if you're not able to tear down and, like, if you're not able to point this in, like, a competitive direction, then the alternative is to just hold and kind of trust the process. But that's where I would be if I were in your position, my friend. He says 102 is taking Tate. You are no matter what. It's definitely a weird league in terms of value across the board. If I had to guess, May is probably grouped in the quarterbacks that should be a tier below him. So Daniels equals May. Okay, so that would be harder then. Yeah, so if you can't tear down off of Drake, if the picks aren't worth what they are in the market, then you might have to more lean towards trusting the process. And maybe that means you go Tate, Jadarian Price, or whoever you think is the best player available. But ultimately, those would be the type of trades I'm looking to get done. Let me know if you have any questions. If there's anything I didn't answer or anything that you wanted to explore that I didn't take the time on exploring, let me know. Obviously, I want to make sure you feel good, J Stump. But I appreciate you being a member for so long. And obviously, that means a lot to me. We'll wait to hear back from J Stump. And just while I wait to hear back, I am going to start setting up our next review here from Pipe Dog. And if you're in the building, Pipe Dog, let me know if you're here with us. But again, just want to see if J Stump's got any final questions there. This next league is a one quarterback start 8, which will be really interesting to talk about. Not a lot of depth that we need to be concerned about there. The fourth Heidenreich is crazy, by the way. That is an absolute insane name. J Stump says probably will still sell Rome and or the 104 and a 27 first if I can't get a deal done for running backs. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I'm not out on Rome personally, but if you are, I understand trying to move him. I still think there's a bright future ahead for him. But I appreciate you, dude. Thanks for letting me have a look at the squad. We've got Staplers here with the trade question that just came through. He says, much love, bro. Glad to have a review done, not on my Echo disaster. Can't wait for Dune 3. Hell yeah. Oof. I'm jealous. Damn, dude. I don't even know if I can do that in Australia. See it in the 70 millimeter. Okay, Staplers is coming back. I feel like we just talked about a similar trade, but I told you to go get Jamar Chase, and you came back with this offer. So let's kind of think about it piece by piece. In order to get to Hampton, you would probably have to give Judkins, a Dunze, and the 109. That probably would be close to Hampton range. So yeah, this is, I mean, if I remember your team correctly, if you made this move, you would be starting Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray. That doesn't change. Bijan, Hampton. Then JSN, Jamar Chase, Loveland. That makes 6. And your last flex spot would be between Justin Jefferson, Ken Walker. You have the 101, the 102, the 104. Yeah, dude, this is exactly the type of trade I would try and get you to do, which I think was what I suggested on today's stream. So, yeah, I like that trade a lot for you, man. Let's go win a championship. How about it? How about it? All right, Fife Dog. What's up, Fife Dog? Let me know if you're in the chat with me. Like I said, I'm glad to have you here. 1 quarterback, start 8. So small league, small starting lineup. Hammers are going to matter a lot here. He says, no worries, Staplers. He says, trying to package some of my bench wide receivers together to tier up. Also looking at the 103 for Garrett Wilson. Really don't know what to do with this team. Any advice on moving players that no one wants? Okay, so you're currently ranked 6th. You do have the 103, a couple seconds, and a 4th. So we will definitely consider that when we look at your team on the War Room. Okay. Untouchables on this team. Puka Nacua is really the only untouchable. Unfortunately, you don't really have anybody else I'd label untouchable. Players that you should hold. Chuba Hubbard would be a very strong hold. Marvin Harrison, at this point, I would be wanting to hold. Matthew Golden. And probably Jalen Coker. Players that you should drop. Look, Lil Jordan Humphrey should not be rostered on any team, including the NFL at this point. You know what? That was too disrespectful, but he doesn't need to be rostered in your league. And if you had to drop someone else, Rashid Shaheed, but I don't really want you to do that. On your waiver wire, oof. Yeah, pretty valuable names there. Terrence Ferguson, I would rather have than the guys I just talked about. Tez Johnson, same thing. Malik Washington. So those are some really good names to add to the team. Now, right now you are starting Mahomes, then Henderson, Etienne, Puka, Marvin, Jake. And you are flexing Devonta Smith, DK. In this league, man, I'm just going to keep it a buck with you. You don't have your first and 27. Damn it. I don't think your team's good enough. And if you had your first in 27, you only have your fourth in 2027. I was probably going to suggest that we might benefit from just tanking for a year. But look, without your own pick, you've got to go windows open here. You got to go try and win because you're not going to benefit from not winning this year at all whatsoever. But your overall, like, your team isn't bad. I think this is probably like C+ range. It's not a bad team. It's not a superstar team. It's a small league, so I'm trying to account for, yeah, like, look at this team. You know, like, the top teams are going to be stacked in a 1 quarterback 10-team start 8, right? You're just going to have stacked teams that you have to compete with. I don't think you're really competing with them, but without your 27 first, you need to at least try. So that's a little bit unfortunate there. But let's go to the chalkboard, because without your first, yes, you could sit here and, you know, you could take Tyson at the 103. Maybe if Tate falls, you could take Tate. The 204 to the 209 is just this huge range. It really is get your guy land. We've called it before. Whoever your guy is, go out and get him. Now, if I were you, seeing as we need to compete, I do think James Cook would be a great fit for you there. If you were to move this pick, Ken Walker would be a great fit for you there. Jonathan Taylor not Taylor Heineke, but on a contender, Jonathan Taylor could make some sense for you. Unfortunately, these late seconds aren't really worth anything, so ideally you want to go and try and grab, a Jonah Coleman if he's available. Some of these handcuffs, a Nick Singleton late in the second, the K-Tron, Allens, those type of names at that point of the board. But my ideal scenario for you, Pipe Dog, without you having your picks in 2026, would be definitely to go out and try and send these picks to contend. Your War Room is officially going to be in the War Room tab on the Flock Discord under the land community, so you'll be able to find that there if you wanted to download it to your phone. But imagine this, okay? So imagine you go out and you grab Kenneth Walker with the 103. Well, then you have a starting lineup of Mahomes, Walker, Achane, Puka, Marvin, Ferguson, and then you're flexing Henderson and Devonta Smith. So on your bench is Metcalf, Chuba. That feels much better as you go out and try and contend. I would love to tell you to sell Patrick Mahomes, but I don't know. We'll have a look. The problem is, my friend, in your league, I'm not imagining quarterbacks have much value, and you have 3 good quarterbacks. That's unfortunate. Does anybody need a quarterback? The guy who has Jalen Hurts, and would he give you like a CMC in this league? Would he give you a Luther Burden in this league? If you add on that second to either of those, Eli McConkey, I would try something like that. Everyone's going to have a good enough starter. It's just if they have a backup that they would want to trade for that could improve their backups. Like the Drake May owner. Could you get like Javonte Williams? Javonte Williams would be perfect for where you're at right now. I would even do Cam Scattaboo as another option there. But most people are going to have a quarterback that they're fine with. That's the unfortunate part there. I can't suggest that you tear down from Puka because you certainly need to try and win right now, and you need hammers. 2027 first that you have is from a team called All You Need Is Love. And their team is pretty decent. Is there a premium? No tight end premium. Yeah, it'd be tough to trade a first for a tight end and a non-tight end premium. But the other idea is using, let's see, Jake Ferguson plus the 204. Could you use these picks and get a slight upgrade? So with that in mind, we're talking about moving to Sam Laporta, hypothetically, would be at the bottom of the barrel there. Tucker Kraft would be awesome. Harold Fannin. Those last two are less realistic, though, going to be honest with you. But, yeah, I think in an ideal world, you're able to trade that first that you have this year in the top 5 for a good running back or even a good receiver. Either way, you could use an upgrade to your roster there. If you trade the 103 for a receiver, you're probably looking like Olave, Wilson, Rice, Pickett, Those would be the names I think that you're probably going to be looking for there. But I appreciate you letting me look at the team. You will get your team playbook here within the next 3 to 4 business days, completely customized to everything that we talked about on today's stream. If anybody else out there wants a team review from me, use the promo code LAND. Become an annual Mother Flocker member. That will give you a free voucher that you can use through the Flock store. Alternatively, you can purchase something through the Flock store as well if you're a member of a different promo code. So you can check that link out in the description. My friends, I appreciate y'all hanging out. Okay, we did have a trade question come from Booty Clap King. Superflex 12 team start 11. He's sending Tootin, Marvin, a first and 27 in the 102 for Genty and Lamb, so you're definitely consolidating. It's a big lineup. If you made this move, you would be starting May, Purdy, good quarterback 3. Then Gibbs, Achane still, Jefferson, Lamb, Loveland. That's pretty good as a 7. You have 4 more players to account for, and those 4 would be Ashton Genty, Rashid Rice, Lad McConkey, T. Higgins, Ken Walker. Yeah, you've got the depth to pull this off. I would have no issue making a trade like this. The only issue is obviously if you bust in the 27 first is worth a lot, but it doesn't look like that based off the way your team currently looks. So, yeah, I'm fine to go out and take the best players in this deal and really commit to trying to win a championship there. All right, what's up, Walk On? Walk On 84 in the building. Thanks for becoming a brand new annual Mother Flock member, man. I appreciate you big time. Thanks for supporting the show and keeping the lights on here. Your team name is the Full Monty's Python. You are currently ranked 9 out of 10. Oof. Not what we want to see. Superflex start 10. Sorry, start 11. But in this format, it's a bit unique because you have 2 starting tight ends, which I'm guessing that would mean 3 flex spots. So you've got a bigger lineup to account for. I like doing that in a smaller start 10 league. The site has you 4th at quarterback, 7th at running back, 9th at receiver, and 8th at tight end. No tight end premium in this one. You said, hi, Zach. Love your work and videos. Please, could I get your help with my team? 10-team, super flex, PPR. Unfortunately, I'm not going to contend this year, so want to improve for 2027. Any suggestions? I also have the 103 and thinking trade Dak to a quarterback needy team for the 104, then trade down 103. Okay, let's have a look at the team. You've got all your picks. It looks like you finished 3rd to last year, if I'm understanding this correctly. Untouchables on this team. Drake May. The closest you would have next to that is Amarion Hampton. As far as players I would like to hold, at this point, Rashad White and Isaiah Pacheco, because I think they will be more valuable in season. Jalen McMillan is a strong hold, as well as Jalen Coker. Those are 2 players I'd like to keep on my team right now. Players that you can drop. Kendre Miller. It hurts my heart, but you can let go of him. He's not going to be a starter at any point of his career. Riley Leonard, I personally think that you can move on from. But you can extend this list to Najee Harris, Marshawn Lloyd, Tyler Higbee. On the waiver wire, there are some names I like. Tez Johnson, I think, should be rostered. Yeah, he's really the only one. Okay. So we are currently starting May, Prescott, Hampton, Harvey, Ladd. Wide receiver room's bad. You don't have good tight ends in the start 2 tight end league. Yeah. I don't think you're a contender. I'm glad that you recognize that. I think at minimum, this is going to be a 1-year punt. Again, at minimum, we might go longer than that. Honestly, for your team being so wiped of talent, I am a little disappointed that we don't have additional draft capital. So that is a little disappointing. I wonder what moves you made to get here, but overall team grade as of today, I'd probably put this at like a C-. That feels relatively fair to me. Don't have a great starting lineup right now, and we don't have a lot of draft capital. That's not the ideal place to be in, but I'm hoping that with today's review, I can help point you in the right direction. Today, folks, at the 103. Obviously, if Tate is there, you go Tate. If it's not Tate, it's going to be Tyson. Those are going to be the 2 guys that we stick and pick with. Beyond that, it is get your guy land, right? I mean, we keep saying this all the time, but that's where we are at this point of this draft. Whoever you like there, get your guy. As you probably already know, my interactive rookie cheat sheet tool will tell you exactly who I would take when you're on the board. So maybe that is worthwhile to you. The position that you're in, yeah, you said maybe you'll trade down from the 103. So yeah, let's see if we can get the 105 plus something. You're definitely someone that I would be open to tearing down for. Problem is, there's not really anyone on this team that I want to actively acquire. I mean, Cam Ward is a no-brainer. I don't know that that's really possible, though. But if you sent back like Malik Willis in that deal, maybe. Can you send... What you could try is adding RJ Harvey and getting a 27 first here. Which, let me write that down on the chalkboard because it'll be easier to view there. So we said 103 plus RJ Harvey for the 105 and a 27 first. Something like that could certainly be a good move for you. Beyond that, because you're not really contending, you know, I'm not going to trade these late thirds or whatever. You know, of course, if you can trade for future picks, you do it. Outside that, you just take your swings. You sit and take your swings, right? I'm going to go ahead and put your war room in the Discord. Under the land tab on the Discord, you will see a war room tab where you can go download that. Let's jump to the chalkboard, though, because you mentioned selling Dak Prescott for the 104. And I will just say, if that's possible, I think it's a no-brainer. I'd love for you to do that, kind of reset your clock a little bit. In season, if, you know, Malik Willis, if you could sell him for, you're not going to probably get a first, but any first in any year would certainly do. If not, then, you know, you could trade it for some unproven veteran or multiple seconds or some unproven rookie at that time of the year. In season is when you're going to want to try and sell the Rashad Whites of the world, the Isaiah Pacheco's of the world, right? Wow, it did a good job with that one. Isaiah, is the I here? Is that where the I is? Yeah, Isaiah Pacheco and then Rashad White. Ideally, you want an early future second for these two names. And then, if you're not able to sell Dak for the 104, can you sell him for a mid 27 first or a mid 28 first from someone who is missing a quarterback to go out and compete this year with? Now, outside of that, there's not a lot of players that you can actively sell that are worth much. You know, I'll just say like RJ Harvey is a player that we would confidently sell for any first. Unlikely that happens, but maybe he really does take a hold in the backfield in this second year and surprises us. Then maybe you can move him for a first. It's not like he's a young player that you're going to want to build around anyway. The last thing I would say is that you could explore a Drake May tear down if you wanted to spark this rebuild, right? So, sorry, Jake Ferguson might be worth something in this start 2 Titan League as well. But if you can tear down from Drake May, like Caleb Williams plus something would be perfect. Oh, this guy's got a ton of assets too that we like. So let's say Caleb Williams plus Brian Thomas plus a 27 first. You know, something like that would be just an absolute no-brainer if you're able to pull it off in a league like this. Replace Brian Thomas with Marvin Harrison, right? Either one of those guys are perfect. I would even do the same thing for Roma Dunze as well, right? And if you need to replace or add something on top of this, you know, you could throw in Rashad White, Isaiah Pacheco into these deals, RJ Harvey into these deals to get them done. Because Caleb Williams is the perfect tear down. And then you're actually sparking the rebuild a little bit more and giving yourself some additional assets to go out and move around. Let's see. Jaden Daniels. I mean, I would do Jaden Daniels plus the 106 for sure. If that's possible. You have your, what was it, 303 or something? I don't know. I would personally view May and Daniels on the same tier, but every league is different, so I want to give you as many opportunities to sell as possible. Okay, so here we could do Brock Purdy plus Emeka Egbuka plus a first. Something like this would be perfect. We want to make sure we stay young. Dart is great. This guy has no first, though, so it's not really going to work. We need to add additional assets long-term. Not going to do Jared Goff. So those are really your main options there. Obviously, with this team being as bad as they are, you could do Trevor Lawrence plus a 27 first from this team in particular, because that's probably going to be a top 3 pick. But that's risky. You might even want 2 first there. It's going to be hard, though, if they know they're a bad team. But I hope that's helpful, man. Walk on. Let's look at, last thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and submit this review, but I'm going to look at the trade that you sent through. And I might be mistaken because, oh no, you have Hampton. Okay, so this is, okay, so yeah, you have Hampton and you have an offer where you send Hampton your first, buddy. Don't send your first away. For the love of God. I want Jeremiah Love just as much as you, walk on. But if your team is not good enough to send your first in 2027 away, no way at all. It's tough because when I look at this trade, the 103 and the 105 are equivalent in value. But just contextually, your team is not good enough to give away your 27 first. So a counter you could send, though, instead of you sending your first, I would be open to doing a Dak and Cam Ward swap here. Right? That could make more sense. Just removing the first and adding Malik Willis and removing the second could make sense. But, yeah, I don't like the trade how it was currently constructed. Not with the weaknesses of your team as they currently stand. Okay. All right, is Alex Ortiz in the chat? Let me know if you guys are with me. Appreciate y'all being here and showing some love. And to anybody watching, obviously would love to have a look at your team tonight. You can check out the link in the pinned comment if you'd like to get a team review. What's up, Alex? In the building, man. Thanks for being with me. Alex. I've got your team here, my dude. Your team name is It's Gonna Be May. I've had a lot of Drake May owners on this stream. This is a Superflex Start 10. Superflex Start 10. And no Titan Premium. Your team is ranked, I think that's 3rd. I think that's you there at 3. Yeah. And the site currently has you 3rd at quarterback, 12th at running back, 2nd at wide receiver, and 7th at tight end. And you wrote down here, I'm thinking about blowing it up. Currently have an offer of the 106 and a 27 first for Rashid and Waddle from Team Clam. I don't think I can contend given my running back and tight end room. Would love a plan for a 1-year punt. We can absolutely come up with that plan together. That is why I'm here, to help you kind of navigate the offseason. We'll be more than happy to do so. So right now, yeah, you would start May, Lawrence. No running backs that we love. The Neighbors, Rice. No tight ends we love. And you would flex Thomas, Higgins, Waddle. So look, you could technically try and compete this year if like Harvey and Corum and Rodriguez are all better than we anticipate. But I think it's smart to look at your team and say, maybe I should, 1 year punt. Maybe I should 1 year punt this thing. So I kind of agree. 1 year punt makes the most sense given the weaknesses of where this team is. We could probably force, a rebuild. We could force a contend, but it wouldn't really be. It wouldn't really be natural. He says he's a Pats fan, so he's not going to trade May. Okay. That's unfortunate because some of the trades that you can get for May right now are really intriguing, but I'm going to respect your wishes there. I'd probably say right now this is B- type of roster. It's not in a bad spot, but certainly not ready to compete straight away. Okay, so let's go ahead and call Drake May our untouchable then. And Malik Neighbors also makes sense to fit that bill. Players I would like to hold. Chig Okonkwo, I would like to hold because I do think he's probably going to gain value in season when you look at the lack of weapons that they have. Chris Rodriguez, I would like to hold for in season. Blake Corum, I would like to hold for in season. And it's weird, but Joe Mixon, I think, still deserves a roster spot just to see if anything happens late in the year. Isaiah Bond, you can drop at this point. Ray Davis, you could drop at this point. I'd add Bellinger there. I'd add Milton, but you don't need to drop everybody, especially if your waiver wire is naked, and it is naked. There really isn't anybody on the waiver wire that I'm all that interested in that you just have to get on the team. Let's jump to the war room here. And at the 105, for a team like this, you could honestly go any direction, man. I think you're a team that could be a Mendoza team. If Tyson is there, Tyson makes a lot of sense. I don't think taking Jadarian Price is a bad idea either, despite what the community says. Lemon's in play. Really, you could go any direction because this year we're not really trying to contend anyway. And as you know, from the 205 onwards, it is get your guy land in this draft. It's whoever your best player available is in your rankings, or if you use my rankings, with the interactive cheat sheet tool, you'll have that too. You can't really tear down from the 105. Okay. So I'm not like, look, you could, but you're really not going to get much in return. Maybe he would give you the 206. It's not going to be much. You're just going to get another swing in a draft that we're not obsessed with. But I will say, trade for any future picks, with these picks down the board. So if you can move your 205 for a 27-second, awesome. Your 305 for a 27th third or a 28th third, awesome. Same for the 4th, right? That's ideally where you would be moving those picks. Alex, I am going to place your war room in the Discord. Let me know if you don't know how to find it by now, but that automatically gets posted to the war room Discord channel. But I want to explore this idea of sending away Rashid Rice and Jalen Waddle for the 106 and a 27 first. I want to explore that idea because depending on what that team looks like, I might not be opposed to a trade like that. So who has the 106? We were just looking at that team, weren't we? So if you gave this team Rice and Waddle, yeah, I mean, they would start Nix, Mayfield. Remind me, this is a start 10, Superflex start 10. Yeah. So they would start Nix, Mayfield, Brees, Achane, Jefferson, Rice, Warren, Olave, Waddle. They would be very much all in. $106 is a little light for Rice, though. I've got a counter I really like that we can put together. So instead of Rice, I would do this for T. Higgins instead. That feels more fair. And Higgins would be someone that you would probably be more wanting to move off of anyway. And in that deal, I would even be willing, like, if it moves the needle, add the 305. You could do a pick swap where you add the 205 and then send them back. Or then ask back for the 306 or something. I like that counter better. If they do want Rice and Waddle, then can we meet them somewhere? I don't know. I don't love it. I'm just thinking how we could meet that value. Yeah, it's not perfect, unfortunately. Even if you did like T. Higgins and, you know, you included like a Isaiah Likely, a Jawan Johnson or something. Okay. But I don't hate that idea. Like, his team isn't good enough where you think the 27 first is going to be super late. It could be more of a mid first. I'm not completely opposed to it. I think if you were to accept that, at minimum, I want their 27 second in addition. So yeah. But going a 1 year punt, I would say in season is when you could probably try and sell RJ Harvey. And I wouldn't expect much, but obviously any first in any year would be awesome. You could also trade him for like the Jaden Higgins of the world, the Matthew Goldens plus a pick, you know, these guys who are unproven. I don't really think trading Harvey for multiple seconds makes a lot of sense right now. Otherwise, you hold. Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews is another name that you could look at selling in season for really any early second if he's heavily involved. Otherwise, it's a mid second. And then the other names, right, like T. Higgins is a name that we would like to sell probably this year. And your ideal return is any first in any year. That would take the points off your team. It would also give you a future first in 28 or 2027. Same thing for Jalen Waddle. Apologies, I didn't realize this was misspelled. You knew who I was talking about, though. But with Thomas and Higgins, Thomas and Neighbors, I think they're strong holds. Rice, I'm not opposed to tearing down from Rice. Is there a team that is missing a Rashid Rice to go out and compete? Like, if you go Rice to like Luther Burden plus Travis Hunter or something like that, would be quite fun. And then they don't have to worry about both of the Bears anymore. Yeah. Alternatively, you could do like a first and then you send a second or something back. But yeah, definitely you should find a owner for Rashid Rice if you're not going to contend this year. He's probably one of those guys who's more valuable in July, September, October, August, because people are realizing how many points he's going to put up. That he is going to be the feature one, if you will. I don't mind trying to go get Egbuka. Emeka Egbuka plus what? What would be the plus? That might not even... You might not be able to get a plus on him, honestly. But it would probably just be something small like a second if you were. 27-1 for plus Hunter for Rice. From that team, no way. No way, dude. That's going to be a late first. You can't guarantee a late first and Travis. You're taking on too much risk there for a guy that you know is going to be valuable in season, unless an injury occurs, which we can't really project, right? So he has the Emeka owners one. Okay. I want a more guaranteed asset than Travis Hunter. I know the first is there. Look, consider that like the bottom of the barrel deal that you should accept. And that trade offer should be available all the way up until September, so you do not need to force a trade right now. What would be really good for you is to do something like this where you get Marvin Harrison plus a first. And then you can send back RJ Harvey, or you try and get rid of both of them. If not Harvey, you also had, who was it, Wan'Dale Robinson. Or a second that you've got in this year's class. So those would be probably some of the moves I would try to make. But Alex, I'm here. I want to make sure you feel good about the review. Please let me know if I didn't cover anything or if you have any additional questions. I want to make sure that I answer all of them and that you feel good walking away from the review. But I agree with you that it's definitely a punt for this year. Got some ideas on what to do. Thank you. No worries, man. Thank you. I appreciate you big time. Thanks for hanging out with me. And this is probably our last review of the day. What is up, Tiz? What is up, Tiz? Let me know if you're in the chat. I know you were here with us earlier. All right, Tiz, multi-year supporter. Thank you, man. Thanks for keeping the lights on over here. Team name is Hands Like... I don't know how to say that. Team rank is 8th. It looks like this is a league with Rowan. Is this a LAN league? This looks like a LAN league here. And you are currently ranked 7th at quarterback, 4th at running back, 10th at receiver, and 6th at tight end. Okay. He says, tried a new strat in the startup, and it kind of went sideways, open to ideas. He said, yes, it's the Hades League. Okay, let's have a look. So, you have got a lot of picks in 2026. As you know, Tiz, we're not obsessed with this class this year. So it isn't really the best class to go out and, put a lot of your eggs in one basket, if you will. But we will definitely have a look here. Untouchables. Oof. Unfortunately, you don't have any untouchables. Maybe your 2027 first is your untouchable. Players that you should hold. Marvin Harrison, for sure. We're going to hold Marvin. Harold Fannin, just simply because you've got to you've got to have some foundation here. Trey Harris, I would hold. And then the last name is Rashad White. Not because I want you to hold him for this team, but because he's going to gain value in season, in my estimation. Players that you can drop. Kendre Miller. I don't think Kendre is ever going to have a chance to start in the league. And then Kendrick Bourne, if you want to clear some space up. You could probably let go of Kendrick Bourne. On the waiver wire. Look, I do think Keenan Allen should be rostered. And you can drop him if he doesn't sign anywhere. But if he does, you could probably net a third back. He's the main guy there that I would be looking to keep. But yeah, this is I have the old review information up, but this is a full rebuild, my friend. No doubt about it. We are in a full rebuild. This isn't your team. Jeez. Sorry, Tiz. Far out, dude. I'm sorry, Tiz. Draft week has me losing my damn mind. Okay, let's try this again. You've got the 106, the 211. You've still got a shit ton of draft capital in this class. So let's completely reset the bank here. Okay. And now I'm looking at Rowan's team. Far out, man. Someone fire me on the spot today. Far out. Okay, here we are. Good God Almighty. Okay, your untouchables are Ashton Genty and the 101. Those are your untouchables. Players that I would hold. Well, there's not a lot, honestly. Torrey Horton. I like Torrey Horton. I'm not aggressively pounding the table for him or anything, but I do like Torrey. Trey Benson, I would only hold until like October and then would drop him probably, but you could drop him in some leagues right now. Marvin Mims, please kick this guy off your roster to the curb. Marshawn Lloyd, same thing. Also, Ben Sinnott, you can let go of. Luke Musgrave, you've got a graveyard of bust tight ends that you can let go of at this point, my friend. But I do think Keenan Allen should be rostered on the waiver wire, so we're still there on the same page. Now, you will be starting in this league, which is a Superflex Start 10. Is that 3 flexes? I bet it is 3 flexes. You'd be starting Dart, Mayfield, Genty, Love, Jamison, Addison, Kraft. Then you'd be flexing, I don't really know, Michael Wilson, whatever the 105 is. Certainly not ideal. You would have to heavily rely on your top dogs, right? The Darts, Genty's, Loves to kind of carry you here. Although I could see this team making the playoffs in a league that just finished a startup. Everybody's going to have holes on the roster. So I definitely would say sleeper category for you as a team right now. A couple moves, we could be in there in the mix, but I think we want to keep our flexibility in season. Overall team grade right now, I probably would put, it's like C plus range, which, coming out of a startup is not uncommon. Most teams are if you play Dynasty well, coming out of a startup should be the worst your team ever is, right? So, but I'll give you an A+ with your draft capital, getting 2 top 5 picks and a 27 first. That's a great place to be in. Okay, finally, we're on the same page. Let's jump into the war room here. So, at the 101, I do think you definitely need a hammer on a team like this. We're going to take Jeremiah Love. At the 105, Price is a fine addition for a team like this. If it's not Price, then, Tyson is fine if he's there. Lemon is the other option if you're a Makai Lemon guy. At the 201, this is either Coleman, Boston, or Stowers. I imagine it's Boston, but we'll see. And then beyond that, get your guy, okay? And beyond with these other picks. I don't want to trade the 101 unless it's for Gibbs or Bijan, and that's not going to happen in this league. The 105, I would rather stick and pick with your 27 first still being intact. The 201, if you wanted to compete, you could send this for like a Mike Evans, a Devontae Adams. If you wanted to have like an additional flex, a DeAndre Swift, right? Swift could definitely be in play. But you can definitely trade for futures if you're able to with those other picks. Look, I don't think that a Love price is a bad outcome for you. I want you to think about that for a second because it allows you to compete pretty much straight away. We know Love and Price are going to get work. You would be starting Jackson Dart, Baker Mayfield, Genty, Love, Jamison, Addison, Kraft, and then you are flexing Wilson, Price, and that's the problem with the last flexes. Is it Coleman? Is it Stowers? Boston? You're still going to be a little bit shy, but everybody in this league is going to be a little bit shy coming out of the startup. It's a very competitive league. It should be anyone's game this year. So, obviously, your receiver room is very weak. It's one of the weakest in the entire league. But that's why I'm suggesting you go best player available. I still think Price is in play here for you, though. It gives you a ton of flexibility moving forward. You still have your 27 first in season if you want to move it, if you become a serious contender. Someone said he needs wide receiver at the 105, not Price. I don't agree that he has to take a receiver, but Tiz, you're obviously very smart. You're a well-oiled veteran dynasty machine. You know what player you prefer at the 105 by this point. It's hard to come up with trades in a league like this, right? Where everything is so even keel. Because where's your leverage? Like if you wanted to compete this year, it's probably tearing down off of Genty. That's your only leverage spot. I don't see another leverage spot here. Yeah, it's, leagues that are like this where not a lot of moves have been made just yet. That's really your only move outside of holding. Like, I guess in season, I could say this. If you are going to not compete this year, Baker Mayfield is a name that you could go out and move off of in season. You could add a name like Jordan Addison there. You could move Michael Wilson. Let me be very clear. If you can get any first in any year for Michael Wilson, then I think that is a big no-brainer. I'll also say the same for Jordan Addison. For Baker Mayfield, you're looking for a mid-future first. But Genty is... Yeah, I'm not sure I would be... I'd be looking to move him right now. If you were to move Genty, you need to get some young pieces back. And I don't think anyone can afford to trade up for a Genty right now. Do you know what I mean, Tiz? Tiz says, yeah, open to the big three wide receivers or Price at the 105. I'm fine not competing this year. It's my worst team in like 5 leagues. Yeah. Gavin says, loves the content and the streams. Always watch you. Zach and Sammy, too, when he's on. Only minor thing is often I'll like the vid and comment the keyword, but the giveaway happens after I'm asleep. Yeah, Gavin, I mean, alternative there is just you come back when the giveaway happens and see if you won, and then you can DM me. Plenty of people come back later on and they realize that they won and they DM me, but probably can't change that, unfortunately, but I appreciate you watching. I was going to say it could be tear down with Hampton, but, I mean, look, the Hampton owner has no no picks to tear down from. I think you got to ride this one out. Nobody's going to have enough assets right now to trade for Genty. I mean, you could go to the team that has all these first rounders, you know, and sell Genty for 3 future firsts if you wanted to. But for the most part, dude, I think it's just riding it out, trusting the process, bringing on some of these rookies, and kind of letting quite a few moves happen in your league before you get a little bit more activity yourself. But please let me know if you got any questions, man. And I apologize I wasn't able to go a little more in depth with yours, but when the cherry hasn't been popped in the league yet, no, that's a bad visual. I should come up with a better visual for that. But it's hard to make moves when everybody doesn't have a lot of assets and a lot of flexibility. That makes trading quite difficult. But let me know if you have any final questions there, Tiz, and I appreciate you being a member and showing some love. What's up, Beef? We've announced this, I think, like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 times. But it's just everyone's not always watching the same type of content on the same type of streams. But Badaki's moved into a new season of life. He's always wanted to pursue a clothing label for himself, and that's what he's up to this year, which is awesome. We're cheering him on. JT says, that's what I was thinking. Appreciate the confirmation. Bring it on in the golf league. Yes, sir. I got some smoke for you in the golf league. Okay. I think this is my year. Honestly. Oops. Didn't mean to bring that up. I am upset I didn't win last year because I was the champion in 2020. 4. But we've got a squad to do it here. If London can stay healthy, if Bucky can stay healthy, this squad is nasty, son. We've got Dobbins, Rice, Addison on the bench, likely. I've got 2 firsts and 27. Come at me, bro. Come at me. All right, guys. I appreciate you so much. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you sign up and become a brand new member and you want to get into the Hermes League, DM me once you've signed up. And that's it, gang. Appreciate y'all hanging out. I'll see y'all soon. Nothing but love.